mean, you know that him and Adam Scott have a podcast about U2. They
I
actually
do
had
know
them
that.
on the
I
show.
know. I
Yeah.
know.
And then
I'm
they went
aware.
to the Sphere to see them.
It is funny that they kind of got a hard time. They had a like a that. Do you know them at all? That band? Did you follow that band?
Fun
They
story about U2. Hashtag U2. Fun story.
not all two.
Hashtag not all two. Not all Bonos. I went to go see Muse at the whatever the stadium that the Redskins used to play at, the FedEx Field.
RFK.
No, it was FedEx. It was FedEx Field,
Okay.
and then they oh, maybe it was RFK. I don't know. I know
I'm
they were
guessing.
about to move stadiums, or they just moved stadiums. So it was either the new one that they just moved to, or the old one right before they moved.
Okay.
So it might have been RFK. I don't know. Anyway, I
was a
went there
guess, not a
with possible future guest Joey Jenkins. He had tickets to see U2 because his parents have enough money for that to be a thing.
Sure.
Like, if you have enough money, people give you shit. You know what I mean? So they like got gifted tickets and they
I
didn't
will
want to
tell
go
you,
because
in
who
our
cares
in
about
our
that white
own
people shit?
lives, when we were like, we're fine, but we're not as affluent as we may have once been because of everything.
Yeah.
But we never got more free stuff than when we had the most money. It
Yeah.
was
There is
unbelievable.
welfare in this country only for the rich and for the
Yeah,
wealthy. Yeah.
they
The
just
moneyed. Yeah.
when you got some money, they hand you shit. I'm not kidding.
It's wild. It's like how at the Oscars they
Oh,
hand
yeah.
out like iPads
To the people
that
who
aren't
need
coming
it
out till
least.
next year. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
Yeah.
And shit like that. Just to just throw it away. And it's like these motherfuckers have iPads.
We got handed shit. It's like, do you want to do this and go to this and do this? I'm like, that's weird. And
Yep.
and oddly, the first girl mention of the night, we have a thing. We'll get offered something, even now, comparatively speaking, that it never in a million years, which is back when we needed it. Never in a million years would it have happened.
Yeah.
When we were dancing in the aisles because Top Ramen was 10 for $1. Never in a million years. That happened in a grocery store in Baltimore. That's a true story.
Man.
Yeah.
Anyway, I left
Oh yeah.
before
that's the
U2
thing.
played.
But you saw Muse.
Oh yeah, they fucking crushed it.
They're my only issue with them with the
Is
live
their
stuff.
current music, their last like 5 albums? That's my only issue with them too. Their first 4 fucking killer rock albums. Then
the
they started
stuff-
doing all that synth nonsense.
It seems well. What I was going to say is, it seems like anything I've seen from them, there are so many tracks going on that I don't know why they bother to play instruments. Like there seems to be a lot of not them playing going on.
That's like their later stuff. Then.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know them well.
Well,
What
they
I
are
heard-
they are in theory a power trio. Like
Yes,
the first
I've seen.
2 albums, that's like they have a live album of them. They brought a keyboard player with them because some of the parts, like, you know, the guy can't do
Yeah.
piano and guitar at the same time.
What are those
so.
records? Because I am very curious.
Showbiz is the first one, and I would just say go in order. I'd say through the first 4, just go in order. Showbiz is the first one.
Some bands, the best things they ever do are their like first 1 or 2 records. Although the singles Supermassive Black Hole and Starlight I thought were great.
That is from their 4th album, Black Holes and Revelations.
And that-
my
and that was
favorite,
it,
and that's
right?
the 4th one. And then that's like I would say stop listening to them after the 4th one. The 3rd one is my favorite, and it's Absolution, and it has my favorite stuff on there. Stockholm Syndrome is on there. Sing for Absolution obviously is on there.
So Showbiz is the first one.
Showbiz
then,
is first, then Origin of Symmetry. Oh, that may be my favorite.
but start with the first.
Start with the first, and then go in order. And
Sorry.
then there's like 12 tracks per album. And,
Showbiz came out in '98. It's as old as my relationship.
nice.
But I have put that aside. I've always meant to give them more of a try. Here's the thing with Muse is endemic of the problem of your favorite band being Queen. Because if your favorite band is the Rolling Stones or the Beatles or the Ramones or pick any like
Zeppelin.
pick any like just kind of founding members of whatever. They have so many bands that follow them that if you get through all their stuff and you want to hear more of that kind of stuff, like if your favorite band is the Ramones, I've got so many bands for you.
You've got
so many
there's
bands.
no shortage.
Some of them are really good.
Yeah.
Some of them are
Hey,
not.
come on down to DC because
Yeah.
there's a surplus.
Oh yeah. But if your favorite band is Queen, you will get a bunch of people. It's kind of like being friends with people and they know you a certain way, like only because you're acerbic or only because of this or because of that. And they'll say, you'll love this guy. They're just like you. Never fails. You meet that guy, you two hate each other because you're nothing alike.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, nothing alike. It's like we had the problem when forming bands of falling in love with the person's record collection. They tell you all these influences, but that doesn't mean they're getting it right. But anyway, with Queen, the problem is you will get somebody who gets the bombast, but they don't get the humor. Or they get the humor, but they don't get the hooks. Or they get the this, Dad, stop that. My eldest is actually in D.C. right now.
No shit.
Yeah, they've been going through the Smithsonian. I thought I sent you the picture of him in the fake White House thing.
No.
Yeah.
You sent me the picture of you sent me a screen cap of the text message you got from the Trump campaign asking you for help.
Yeah, I wondered why I was getting your
texts.
your
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Wires must have got crossed somewhere. The
Wires
cables,
crossed.
you get it.
Yeah, but they're here. I will.
Yeah,
To
me, that's like I have 2 points of reference for that, where who one of my favorite people is
me.
Okay, one of my second favorite people. It's like the reason I am writing and playing and singing. Like,
is this Mraz?
It is Jason Mraz, yeah. And I like him so much. Not now, much like Muse. I think his first 3 albums are killers, and then it kind of falls off. Then he has one great album, and then the rest. I haven't bought a Jason Mraz album in 6 years. He's been putting out albums. I have not bought one. But I'm doing a show with all his stuff. So I've a part of my musical identity is this guy. And so when I bring that up, they'll be like, oh, yeah, so you must love Jack Johnson. Oh, so you must love James Blunt. And I'm like, you don't understand
You don't understand
how
things work.
The thing that I like about, and the reason I'm putting on this show, July 20th at Little Market Cafe in Ellicott City. Hey, all of you nobody out there, please come on down. It's free and outside. And I met
almost my birthday.
I tried to get it right on your birthday, which is July
27th,
which I knew that.
Although I will be the day before that, I will be playing The Gathering. And stop sending me pictures, child I love. I am literally trying. I am trying to find that pic. Anyway, they must have some setup where, a mock-up of the Oval Office for kids to sit in and get their picture taken.
Huh.
And he's there. They're sending me more things. Man, I'm really dealing with a sponge candy issue too, but that's a separate thing entirely. Because that whole thing about if you stop consuming alcohol, you will get a crazy sugar craving.
Oh yeah, because that's your sugar. It's the alcohol.
Shit is deep, deeper than my grave. G. Sorry,
Word.
Oh, that's the other thing that I just sent you the picture. The child is big into. He absolutely loves. I really do feel 100 years old because I'm looking it up because I can't remember the guy's name, which is just sad. The kid,
Wilt Chamberlain.
No, Kendrick Lamar.
Oh,
yeah, and he's really into.
So this beef. He's he's tracking it.
He's tracking it hard. And he's like, you got to hear this. You got to hear this.
I've always. Drake has always just rubbed me the wrong way.
It turns out he's not a
but
good
but
guy.
but that was
Yeah.
because I was a minor. Once I got above that age, he didn't want anything to do with me.
Yeah. Afterwards, he Johnny Gilled you and rubbed you the right way.
Hey now,
Yeah.
rub it in, rub it in.
And rub you the right. He was Johnny Gill was one of the lesser known members of New Edition,
Huh?
and he had a hit called "Rub You the Right Way." It's very dirty.
What?
What?
90s R&B?
Yeah, some of that stuff, man. Don't go
Oh,
back.
it's gross. Drew Hill?
Don't
I was
go
a
back
child listening to that.
Drew Hill from
Great from
Druid
Bodymore Murderland.
Yeah, Bodymore Murderland. Druid
Saw
Hill.
Cisco in an airport once.
There's a whole thing. WTMD, which is a wonderful station, or was a wonderful station. They still play us occasionally. I got a text from a friend, which is nice. Yeah, it's really nice. They had Cisco in for like the 20th or the 25th anniversary of the Thong Song because they had, I don't know, like a dozen different covers of that done by local musicians. And they had him in to talk about it. And I never got a chance to listen to it, but apparently he was great. And the guy who hosted it, shout out to Sam Sessa, who won't hear this, was wonderful. He's the reason we ever got on Baltimore radio. Lovely fella. If you ever saw us play something, it showed up on some live streams where I introduced Breakup as the song that was played no less than 17 times on WTMD, which I counted one time. It was very nice.
Was that the amount of times you heard it? Or you got confirmation that it was played?
I looked it up on the playlist because it was searchable. And it wasn't even just their local like HD2 one. We were in rotation for a bit. And you know what? That doesn't
But it
get
felt good.
old. Oh.
Yeah.
There was a moment, now when it started was a long time ago. Our firstborn, who is now in DC and is 14, he was small, and at one point we were dancing around the room with him when we heard to our music, when we heard us on the radio.
That's fucking rad, man.
It is wonderful.
I've heard secondhand that my stuff has been on the radio.
Yeah, it's better
Oh,
when
that's
you
cute.
actually get
It's
to
to
hear.
scale.
Yeah, and also, yes, absolutely. And he is, my wife was very amused that
He's your wife?
had-
Oh.
Yes, exactly. I am not Drake.
First base.
First base. I don't know. But if his/my Orioles hat is on the table, and he's wearing an Orioles T-shirt too.
Huh.
So yeah, so that was nice. Not
So
like it's hard to
you've
come by.
infected him with your sports
Actually,
disease.
he's a sports kid.
Oh yeah, that's right. He plays
that is how-
lax.
Yeah,
He plays LAX.
He plays LAX. That is how he and I have reconnected. He is a bigger football fan, but he has come to appreciate
Well, that makes
baseball.
sense. Like,
Yeah.
I was a big football fan in middle school.
It's real big with kids.
Yeah,
Like
with kids because it's so simple. You don't really have to, like
Yeah.
there is a kind of like chess-like element to
There's
it.
very much. But
Yeah,
it has
because
that,
it's like battle formations and shit like that. You know what I mean?
But also, you can
big hits.
Do yeah.
You do big hits,
I
big
came in one
points.
day-
You get big point scores.
Yeah.
Same with basketball, but basketball's like,
He's been getting into basketball because of
I
the,
think basketball's much more fun to watch.
He got a Knicks shirt, and he was all about it. Wife's from New York. He's trying like trying to
Coffee.
connect. It's like, look, New York stuff. I'm like, oh, that's nice.
Oh.
But yeah.
Have you
yeah.
guys been?
To New York City?
Yeah, like as a family.
No, not since they were born. We want to.
Yeah.
We're talking.
But it would be like a whole fucking thing.
It
Do you
would
know?
really be a whole
I'm sure
fucking
you guys know people. Like is her family still there?
No, not really. She had family there for a long time. I think she's got a few, but they were an older generation.
I see. So time got them.
So we.
Speaking of time,
might
Doctor
have
Who
some-
tonight. It's out.
Oh, is it? Mm-hmm. I didn't know that.
Could watch it right now. Just like we could live. We
Good
could do
night.
commentary on it. Just talk over it the whole time.
That would be great. They used to do that. There is a internet radio sports show that I listen to as a podcast out of Baltimore. Shout out to Glenn Clark. And I remember back when he was on a terrible little radio station, not his fault, the owner's fault. At one point, I happened to have it on a random Sunday when there was a football game on, and they were literally watching the football game and chatting, and they couldn't actually do play-by-play, but they just mentioned something that happened, and they go back to talking about football.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, my favorite commentaries on like TV shows or movies or whatever.
Yeah.
Is where they're not like going like so for the Avengers commentary, specifically the Endgame commentary, because of course I watched both versions. They are addressing questions.
Is it the Russo brothers?
It's the Russos and it's Marcus and McFeely, so it's the directors and the writers. Which it's the Infinity War one is fucking fascinating. It really is because they go by how they do it, and then in the Endgame one, it's after the movies come out. So then it's they're fielding like they're doing like preventative defense from like Twitter, from like questions that people had. It's like, oh, how did the Hulk know did the Hulk just bring the people that were in planes? Did they just show back up in the sky? And the Russos or Marcus and one of the two guys, they were like, yeah, he's called Smart Hulk, so you can just imagine that he's accounted for that. And I love how She-Hulk calls him Smug Hulk. I love that show so much.
That was a good show.
I think that's the most rewatchable one. Maybe WandaVision, the first half of WandaVision. Then Darcy's in a truck and she stays in that truck for 3 episodes.
Poor Darcy.
Poor Darcy. She showed up in
better.
4, which poor Darcy, boy. Oh my God, I was so excited for that Thor movie, man.
I don't want to.
They're probably gonna make another one. Just
Maybe.
it made money, so.
Yeah, they're talking about it, but like taking it darker again.
I've heard chatter. Yeah.
I heard the same thing. I heard some chatter today. Sorry, I have to take a pill.
Yeah, I know I am, but what are you?
You betcha. No fun. Although, oh my goodness, ice cream on Valium. Unbelievable.
Wait, we haven't talked about this on this. I think I think we just talked about it. Yeah.
I tried to get an MRI, and it turns out I am insanely claustrophobic because it's in your face like this.
Yeah. He didn't even get to the worst part, which is the big noise.
Nope.
The whirring, clicking death rattle machine. Yeah.
But I tried it twice. Once because I didn't know.
Yeah.
Without any medication.
Yeah, we talked about that on here.
Yeah.
But we haven't talked about your ice cream times.
And then I tried, and I came out and they're like, yeah, this happens all the time. You call your doctor, they give you some medication to help, you go in. So I got the medication, I took a lift, took the first one, with they're like, take it 20 minutes beforehand, and then right before you go in, take the second one. I do that, I go in, I'm like, this isn't helping at all, please let me out. And they're like, how long did it take it? 20 minutes. Should have been an hour. You can go sit in the lobby for 40 minutes to see how it goes. So I sat in the lobby for 40 minutes, and I'm like, nope, that's not going to work out. And what it did do is I didn't feel nearly as guilty as I did the first time for canceling. This time I'm like, nope. And then I got out, and I had a very, very slow, deliberate walk from the MRI place.
A stroll.
Across the street, through a lovely park, and over to a little shopping center where I had tea, and a friend of mine, shout out Tommy Link, was working.
This is an episode full of shout outs. I'm gonna have to create a new banner.
You'd better. And I go up I'm like, hey Tommy Link, how are you? He's like, hey Chris, how are you? I said, honestly, kinda high. And he went, oh. Tommy is a working musician, so hearing that a fellow musician is high, it's not surprising.
No,
and I'm like,
that's a Tuesday.
And I kind of quickly, I thought, told him that, but it was probably like, no, the reason. So I got a tea and walked with the tea, and then walked over. I've told you the obsession with sponge candy, yes?
Yeah, recently, yeah.
Yeah. So I walked over. The place that makes the sponge candy is in the same area. So I walked over there, and I'm like, I'm gonna get some sponge candy. And I got in, and then I remembered they have ice cream. So at 10 in the morning, I'm like, I would like sponge candy ice cream, please.
Oh, shit.
And I went outside and had maybe the greatest moment of joy in my life. Who's to say?
Drugs
But
are a hell of a drug, man.
It turns out I should not have that again because
It is quite habit forming.
I've
Luckily, it's
had-
hard to get a hold of unless
Yeah.
unless you're just willing to take a shortcut. Then that's heroin. That's
See,
heroin.
I've had other things that people
Fentanyl.
have real problems with, and thankfully had no problem with. Like when I got the broken rib, and it turns out if you're past a certain age and you break a bone, your doctor will just throw whatever they can think of to make it stop hurting. So I got what's the hillbilly heroin?
OxyContin or
did nothing for me.
hydrocodone or
Got 'em both.
oxycodone.
I got all three of those. If those are
Yeah.
three things,
Yeah.
I have things, and
You mean it didn't work? Like you still
no,
felt pain?
it just made me sick.
Oh man, that sucks.
Yeah,
that's
no
the
fun.
only pain meds that like actually work for me.
Can you believe that shit? That like only certain things work for like your particular body chemistry.
Yeah,
and
like
none of
Tylenol.
those things.
Tylenol ain't shit. Like maybe like I'll take like what's the one that helps with inflammation? Is that Advil?
That's acetaminophen.
Yeah.
As-
So is that
wait.
Tylenol?
I'm sorry, I take it back. Acetaminophen is Tylenol. Ibuprofen is Advil.
Ibuprofen, right? So yeah, so that's it.
Acetaminophen only handles pain.
Right.
The other is good for inflammation.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
less good with pain. So you may
Yeah.
have to take more if it's just for pain. But
It's a matter of what works for you.
yeah.
Yeah.
So apparently, like all that basic bitch shit, like doesn't really work for me. So like I need the like
Yeah,
if we had Tylenol
unfortunate-
3 in this country.
Yeah.
then, yeah.
They used to when I was a kid. They had it.
Yeah, but like they used to put cocaine in Coca-Cola. Back when we were a country. Cocaine.
Yeah, back when we were a society.
Have you been watching John Mulaney's new talk show?
I haven't, and I want to. Unfortunately, I understand Seinfeld is also on it.
Only the first one, and yes, he's the worst part.
He's insufferable.
He's
he was never great.
I derailed Rob's open mic on Sunday, and I interrupted a performer about to start a song because I was talking to him about it, and then after it I was like, "You didn't ask for this, but you're getting it."
Did you just like elbow somebody out of the way?
No,
Like, I
the
have something
stage
to
is
say!
big, so I didn't have to elbow, but I was the host.
But
so I was coming
emotionally,
from
you
oh,
elbowed?
absolutely, I bogarted his ass. But
No,
yeah,
he's-
man, it's just
he's insufferable.
He's criminally unfunny. He was the worst part of his show. The show was only funny because of the other 3 cast members, and Larry David was there.
I will say that he had a moment where I thought he might be okay. And the moment was during shutdown. He started going on people's podcasts and talking, and the only time before or since that I've ever heard him sound like an actual human being with feelings who cared about his fellow man.
Huh.
And it went on for about a year or so, and then we came out of things and everything's fine. So
now he's like, you can't say
And
anything anymore. College
and then
campuses,
he went
blah,
back
blah,
to
blah,
all
blah, blah.
that.
Yeah,
He was back on his tired.
the far left. This is something you said like last week. Like the far left radicals make it so that you can't do comedy anymore. Unbelievable. Like just today, I just watched. Like I caught up on Hacks season 3 with Gene Smart, who is fucking amazing. That
Show
show
is
is
good.
so fucking funny.
I've never gotten to watch it.
It's
Is it
so
good?
rude.
There's too many shows.
There's too many shows. And so many comedies. Like we were talking on.
Yeah, but you can't do comedy anymore.
Oh my
Jules.
God, these motherfuckers! Like that shit about the into a microphone to an audience of millions of people. You know what the bad thing is you can't say anything anymore. And this motherfucker walking around, you can't say anything anymore, has all the goddamn money in the world, so he could make
Yeah.
anything he fucking wants.
Yeah, you mean
But
like
what he
a
does,
fucking movie
like
about
the
Pop-Tarts?
Pop-Tarts movie.
Hey, that's what he had to say, man.
Unbelievable. Like, I'm sure you could have. Dave Chappelle still has a Netflix deal, And he has alienated the entire trans community. And me. I'm not even in the trans community.
And there's that whole group that just like there's a comedian named Chad Daniels who has been around for a while.
Sounds cool.
He's
Sounds
real
white.
funny. He's real white, but he's like one of the hey,
one
he
of the
might
good
be
ones?
all right. Yeah. Well, he had a whole thing. There was just a clip that like Jackie Cation put out. Shout out Jackie Cation, great comic.
Yeah.
And she's like, I love Chad Daniels, and it was like people talk about like if you say the wrong things, you're going to get canceled and you're going to lose your audience. You're not going to lose the audience. You're going to lose some people, and it's going to get filled in by people you don't want.
Yep.
And it went from there. And I'm like, that's a hell of a thing to say.
And that's
'Cause it's just
absolutely true.
Yeah.
Like, that's like fucking, you see so many people doing that pivot because they're just tired of trying to not hurt people's feelings or AKA not be a fucking asshole.
Yeah, be a person.
Right. Be a human being.
Now, there
Like,
are-
we live in a society, but it
That-
is a vibes-based economy.
Oh yeah, it is. That is the thing. It's like people are like, I didn't mean to hurt that person, but then they don't get the second half of that.
Right, exactly.
I'm sorry that
I'm sorry
I
that you were
genuinely
offended.
didn't- No, that's not it. It's I genuinely didn't know that would upset you.
No, that's
I'm
yeah.
gonna try to learn from that.
That's
Yeah.
the second part. But most people are just like, "Oh, I'm sorry the thing I said hurt your feelings." And they just fucking walk
I'm
away.
sorry if you feel that way.
I'm sorry.
You know what?
Oh, that's the best. That's the best one. I'm
and
sorry
again,
if you feel that.
Sorry.
Yum 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 yum
Sorry,
yum yum.
sorry to bring it back to my personal experience, but I won't accept that as an answer from my 14-year-old. Why would I accept it from a fucking adult?
Exactly, man.
You know, it's not that hard to be a human.
No.
All you got to do is try a little bit.
Right. And like,
It's
if
like-
you're gonna be an asshole, okay, but like, own up to being a fucking asshole.
Shout out to Cameron Esposito, also a great comic. Shout out. Had a bit about that. She's like, I can't believe, and this is, 10 years ago maybe, somewhere in there, and great queer comic.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and
She
I saw her
funny.
at the Auto Bar in Baltimore. Shout
That's
out
right.
to the Auto Bar.
You've
Yeah.
yes.
Woo!
Yes.
What a place to see a comic on the ascent. Just electric.
Boogie woogie woogie.
Part 2, Electric Boogie Woogie Oogie Loo. You know, we
Touche.
could probably stop the live
That
stream
was great.
there
We've had like 3 moments where we could have ended it. Joke
just
joke
stopped.
ender, joke like show
Yeah.
ending jokes. Like yeah.
You know, that's kind of the not to talk about it too much because that's fucking irritating. But one of the benefits of having not been a drinker for a long time and then drink it a bit and then drink it way too much and then stopping is I never for one second thought I couldn't be creative anymore. And I never for one second thought I couldn't be funny anymore.
Yeah.
As opposed
There's
to the
like
peop-
the
yeah.
fear of it.
Yeah.
Right. But that
But I
just
didn't
comes
really
with the
think
territory.
it.
But
Uh-huh.
like, you know, that's yeah. No, it's
mean, I'll
it's,
never
it's,
have-
it's in you.
Yeah, I'll never have fun again, but that's not
Oh,
the
but
same
that's-
as being
that's-
funny.
but, you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Eh.
most people aren't having fun.
No. No.
It's
No.
rough. It's rough out
Yeah,
there.
it's really fucking rough. And to
Yeah.
have to go through all the things we've talked about off air, and I'm going through them straight. It's
Right.
not.
Yeah, exactly. You know, it's like
Yeah.
it's wild. It's just like
Yeah.
add any sort of hyphen before American, and then like you know, there you go. That's
Yeah.
the struggle.
Sure.
That's the struggle right there, bud.
Sure. You
Oh
got
my.
that right there. Oh my God.
jeez.
I'm in the rewatch of Letterkenny where he's Wayne is dating the girl from
Her no.
Quebec. Yeah.
Oh, what's her name? Oh,
You know,
fuck.
but you know who I mean.
Yes,
I
yes,
fucking-
yes. Who shows
and
up on
she's so great.
Shorzy?
And they're both.
She's the
Oh no! That's the one who
That's
dates
the one
Derek.
that's the one who's into dairy. That's right. Yeah.
Yeah. And he loses her because he feels outclassed and he gets too worried and he doesn't give her any space. And that one hurt so bad.
Yeah, man. She was into it.
'Cause-
And like
because-
because I've lived that.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because,
No, because
we're not
I've lived that.
actually the same person.
Yeah.
But oh shit, Jules, yes. I have been there as well. This was a long time. This was when I was the nice young Latin gentleman.
Oh, such
Yeah.
a nice young Latinx.
Yeah.
Latinx
And I
boy.
was and I was cute as shit, it turned out. I wish I'd known. I would have a much better time.
Amen, sister.
Yeah, right? I think we
Seriously.
all would. Yeah.
I mean-
I know.
Yeah.
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 Back in your Fez days, if only you'd known. I've seen pictures, baby.
I've worn a fez in front of you. Would you like me to get it?
No.
Okay.
No, because I like your hair out. I think it looks great. Is it long on the sides too, or do you have it tied back?
Yeah. I mean,
Is it kind of tied back?
yeah.
Oh, okay.
But like
Right on.
I cut the sides so that it can fit in a hat,
Gotcha.
so I can just like tuck it. I haven't worn a hat in so long.
I don't see how you could.
Yeah,
I mean,
because it's
that is
fucking Maine.
impressive.
Yeah, yeah.
Good on you, man. Hey, live those dreams for those of us who cannot live them. You know?
I'm probably gonna cut my hair once it starts getting like crazy hot.
Yeah.
Or I may
I'm-
just stay inside, but I'm probably gonna have a bunch of gigs, and most of them are probably gonna be outdoors.
I was thinking about letting this fucker go at some point because I
like
had to
like
go.
chopping it.
Yeah, because I had to go in for like, because you see how long it is here.
Oh no, I know it's very Spartan.
I had to go in, Sparta, but we don't like doing cardio, so we'll Sparta later. But I had to go in for like different I had to go in for like they put you in the different machines at like the optician or whatnot, and they bring it in, and they're bringing it in with the chin thing like here, and I'm like, no, buddy, it's up here. Like, like my chin's way up here.
Oh man,
Like,
wouldn't it be
it's-
fucked up if
Yeah.
if like your beard made your chin bones grow, or like there was like
Yeah,
a
so-
cartilage thing
Yeah,
about
then,
it?
and then people
a-
could be like, why the long face, Chris?
So how do you feel about playing a song?
I've got a new one.
Let's do that. Jesus
you can't-
Christ, that's why I'm not writing. You're just writing all the goddamn songs.
I took them from you.
that's the reason I'm not writing.
There's it is well, there was a bunch of wait a minute, there it is. There was a time there where I'm like I couldn't really focus on things for very long, but I'd get like part of a thing, and then when stuff started coming around again, my energy was just I was only really awake and around for like a few hours at a time, and then I would have to go be in a dark room and not do anything. But then I started to come around, and all the stuff that's percolating in your head when your brain starts working again, you're like, oh shit, I have ideas.
I see.
Yes.
Huh.
So yeah. So I had like different things. Yeah, with the guitar, it goes very Jose Feliciano, which is
See,
a reference you might not get.
I know the name.
Well, he did. He was
sure did.
one. Yeah, he sure did. He was one of the folks who dared to do a different version of the Star Spangled Banner or one of those songs, and made people angry because it wasn't exactly like they thought the song should go.
Was this pre or post Hendrix?
I think it was I think it was post, but not by a whole lot. And also, in case you couldn't tell by the name, a non-white fellow as well.
Oh, you don't say. They got upset about some rah-rah patriotism
Yeah.
bullshit that a non-white did?
But keep in mind that this is before the last 20 years, so there were only white and black people, and there weren't any Latin people.
No. And
That's
no
just the
gays
way that-
either.
Yeah, that's the way those
Just,
things.
they were funny. That was what, is that Jimmy Pardo? That they were
Yeah.
They were funny.
fucking. There was Paul Lynn.
Yeah,
and-
what's his
yeah.
name? Oh, fucking Charles Nelson Riley.
Yes.
Yes.
What are you gonna and Liberace? When are you gonna meet a nice girl, Lib? You know.
So good. There's a boy, what is that? Where there's people who run a Liberace museum, and it's all these old women come through, and they're just like, oh, he was so beautiful and such a bachelor. You know, I met him once. I almost, you know, we almost went home together, but
No,
I had
you
to
didn't,
something
honey.
something.
No, you
fuck.
didn't.
I'm gonna think of the show. I'm gonna think of the show because it's right up your alley.
Oh, that hurts me.
Or is it? Am I doing the
is it?
Queen thing to you?
Mm.
I feel like it was Hacks, which is it's really good. And they don't. It's a show about a stand-up, but they don't do the thing that Miss Maisel does, which is like the only thing I don't really like about it. I like it sometimes, but like Lenny Bruce is a character on the show, so sometimes they'll just have the guy who does a pretty good Lenny Bruce impression do Lenny Bruce's act, and it's like, oh well, yeah, because Lenny Bruce was fucking funny as shit. But they don't do stand-up too much, you know, on the show, like fake stand-up.
That's a tough thing to
It's
pull
a
off.
it's
Fake
hard.
stand-up
It's
is
hard.
real tough.
But like in Hacks, I think they get it just right. Plus, they have stand-ups on staff. Like in this latest season, I've seen they've had like 3 stand-ups that have directed each episode. They're only 4 episodes in. Joe Mandy's one of them, who's fucking funny as shit.
Yeah,
Guy Branum is another one who's also fucking funny as shit. And then they show up in the episode. And so they have like stand-ups on staff.
They had
writing.
two with some really interesting speaking voices.
Yeah,
'Cause-
and they
yeah.
are weird ass fucking characters in the
They're
show,
real-
and
they're weird
they're
guys.
one-offs, like in Justified, where you just get like a random fucking character
That
but
could
you're
have
like,
its own
That's
arc.
a guy. That's a new guy that I just found. This is a new type of guy, like a Pokemon.
So if you had told me that the intro to Fallout was Walton Goggins doing full Walton Goggins,
Dude,
I'd be like,
he's
why
the main
am I not
character
on
of the
this
show.
now?
Yeah, he's the main character of the show.
My 14-year-old offered, I can't get him to do anything with me because I'm his dad. But he's like, I'll do this and this and this, and we can watch, I've already watched Fallout. It's great. You'll love it. We should watch it together. Yeah. I'm like, okay. Like I listened to some Kendrick Lamar, and he goes, you don't really like it, do you? And I'm like, I don't know. But I'm glad you like it.
Yeah.
Like, I listened to some, I'm like, I don't know. So much of that,
He's a grower, I think. Kendrick. I found he's an acquired taste. Because
Okay,
I didn't like him the first time I listened to him.
we listened to, well, he played me like something off of like one of the diss tracks, and that's like not
That's
like,
not a
it's
good sample of...
it's funny.
Oh, yeah.
Like I like
Plus,
almost-
Drake is a goofy ass bitch, so like you
There's
know,
a
of
lot
course it's
there,
fun to
yeah.
dunk on him.
Yeah,
Yeah, there's
yeah.
a lot to work with.
But
just the Degrassi stuff.
Yeah, I know. Like I remember when To Pimp a Butterfly came out, and people really talked about it. And I think I listened to part of it. I didn't really give it a chance.
I own the album. I haven't listened to it. It came out 10 years ago, I think. I was just thinking about it because all this Drake diss beef stuff has been going on. And then I think about, and we don't know what happened to him, but somehow he died. So let's just find the thing. You know what I'm looking for.
Kendrick Lamar's still alive.
No, not Kendrick Lamar. I'm doing a segue into a thing. May he rest in peace, Kanye West. I don't know how he died, but he definitely isn't around anymore, so we don't have to talk about what he would be doing currently if he was alive.
It would be really interesting if he.
Yeah,
had,
but we don't need to, and let's not speak ill of the dead because
that was an interesting
don't have
talk.
time.
Also with the child, his version of what hip hop is, you know, and different people. And he had, and I'm like, yeah, honestly, like the kind of stuff you're talking about, like I was listening to like Biggie Smalls and Tupac. He's like, I love Tupac. I'm like, this is very interesting to me.
Yeah.
Like what he's getting out of that.
And it's very Beatles and Stones, I think, Tupac versus Biggie. And
that's
I'm
fair.
like, and I'm very much in the Tupac camp.
I understand that.
Yeah, I appreciate the craftsmanship, and he's just like, I mean, fucking hell, dude. He changed the game. So
I
did
appreciate it.
So did Kanye.
See, I appreciate it, and there's gross to all around you because you know, Puffy is all over the big small stuff.
I mean, just
God
talk
damn it.
about riding some fucking coattails to the top, and then just like just being a villain. Like he's just like a classic, like Wormtongue-esque villain. Except he did rapes. Wormtongue didn't do
Is
well.
that
Maybe he
what
did.
he did?
Did he? Yeah, it was like some sexual assault on some boys and stuff.
I'll be honest with you.
Minors.
I saw
Not minors, minors.
I saw like so many things like about it that I didn't read them. Like
Yeah.
I saw he did so many bad things. Like I don't
Yeah.
I don't need to.
Yeah.
I believe you.
Yeah.
There that much smoke, there's fire. But I don't need to-
Harassment to like assault, and then like there may be trafficking stuff. I don't know, but it's like all bad. Like he fled the fucking country, so like
Oh, he and Polanski are hanging out now.
probably yeah. Him,
Goddamn.
Polanski, and Andrew Tate are all hanging out. Yeah.
There you go.
There you
Wait,
go.
which one's Andrew Tate?
Oh, don't worry about it.
Okay.
Well, maybe worry about it because of your son, but your son seems pretty cool.
Right, I remember you telling me
Yeah.
about that.
Yeah.
There
They
are issues
predate
there.
on young boys, and not in the Diddy way. Boy, that's a great time for someone to show up and start watching. Okay, let's get you to
Sure.
play a song.
You betcha. Yeah, but no, it's interesting to hear his take on those things, and yeah, just hearing the younger person's view on it, and of course the other child wants nothing to do with any of that.
Oh yeah, but he's on his own path.
He is very much on his own path. We listened to some Benny Goodman in the car. He was happy. That's
So
kind
how new is new?
which new is what new?
How new is the song that you're about to play?
I hadn't finished writing it. I hadn't
Since
finished-
Vom?
Maybe it was either Vom or it got completed somewhere between the last live stream and the Vom area thing. Yeah, it wasn't ready to play it for Vom, so
Okay.
something like that. I wasn't ready to play it yet, so it's very close. So, but it's new.
So close.
So close.
All right.
Let's see. I haven't practiced it in a few days, so we'll see how it goes.
Gimme.
Oh nope, that's not it. See, I can't. I'm gonna have to try to make.
Hey,
the
you've
loop.
already played that one.
Yeah, it's not that one.
Hey, I know that one.
I have to. I don't like that. 1 second, please.
Okay.
1 moment, please. 1 moment, please. I don't think I'm happy with that.
Do you have to set up a loop?
I do.
Okay.
I'll try.
Here we go.
I wanna take you wherever you wanna go, but you know maybe I can't. I wanna show you all of the things you wanna see, but for me, maybe I can't. Maybe I can't. I get scared
welcome. What's it called?
I don't know. It's pretty new. That was the other.
And this
weird
is the whole
loopy one.
title?
Yes, exactly. I had a very interesting conversation with the girl in the car because I got to play it for her, and she's like, "That's really different for you.
Yeah, that's nice.
I like this, and it does this, and I'd like to hear it do this." And she's like, she really likes shoegazery, layered stuff too. And she's like, and it's basically, it's like, why haven't you been writing this shit for the last 20 years? But no,
But nicer.
yeah, much nicer. But yeah, she liked that, and it's like, and I went to play her something else, and she's like, oh, I went to play her the dun 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 dun.
The one, the loop that you had set up.
Yeah. I went to play her that. And she's like, no. It was basically like, no, more shit to say about this one. And
I really do like that one in 6 or 3 or whatever.
oh, thanks.
Yeah.
So you didn't
I
like the other one.
I like your new stuff. I mean,
Thank
I
you.
I think, I don't know. Keep it up. I don't know what the fuck to say. I don't know how to be supportive.
It's hard. The
Yeah, it is.
loopy stuff has a very different feel for me that I'm enjoying. I like normally it's a whole bunch of chords and a melody that kind of goes through it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, these are like, 2 chords or like a chord and a half.
Yeah, man,
And then-
you don't have to do a lot of work. Like, that's...
Yeah.
Look, man, I'm about efficiency. And by
like
that, I
that.
mean fucking laziness. I
Well-
don't want to do stuff.
Well, yes.
Even though I still build a loop, like I'm,
You're doing the work, yeah.
I do a little work, but it's so... I work smarter, not harder, honestly. Because if I set up a loop, I have like 6 or 7 songs where it's just the same fucking chords the whole way through. Most of them are covers, but
Yeah.
still.
I like the option, and it was also really, and of course, yet again, Chris thinks of shit that's already been invented, and I'm like,
Ooh, I have a
and
thing for that. Shut up. Shut your fucking mouth. Shut up. Where is it? You shut your mouth. Fuck. There it is. Worth it.
Totally worth it. But no, I'm going through like, man, I get like that one and the other one, the ding, 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 ding. They were like, man, this would be great if there was a way to, I have this other, go with me, but it would be like another voice singing a part that would go along with this. If I had a way to, I don't know, make it so it was my voice also doing that thing, perhaps at a previous time it had somehow been, put onto some kind of contraption that allowed you to then listen back to it later.
Yeah, I'm going to take this banner down because that doesn't exist. What are you talking about?
I know. But yeah, it came up somewhere else, and I was like, yeah, I do that, but I have this phone, and I hit this one button, and then I record the thing.
Your loop pedal can do the same fucking thing.
Yeah, but not forever.
Yeah, but like you can just layer it.
Yeah, but I can't. Oh no, because I'd have to get the one that lets you loop
Save
in your vocal.
Then yeah, you should just use like whatever proprietary shit. Oh no, wait, didn't you buy a thing?
I have a thing.
Jesus Christ!
I just don't know how to use
I
it.
just use fucking GarageBand.
I can't do that.
I'm about to record an album with GarageBand. I'll have
can't?
it mastered, mixed somewhere else, but like you can a little goes a long way, and you have a thing that you have to buy, and you just don't. What is it?
What is what?
What is it?
It's it. What is it?
What is it?
You're at.
What is what's the software?
I'm looking because I don't know off the top of my head.
Gotcha. All right, I'm gonna adjust my microphone. I'm gonna play a song. I know you didn't ask, but I'm just gonna fucking do it.
I'll allow it.
Thanks, bud. But watch myself, counselor.
Chickadee, check yourself.
Lest I wreck myself.
Yes. Is it Logitech? Maybe I don't remember. It was something. It was what came with the DAW that I have, and it's and a friend daw and
Oh,
a
it could
daw
be like daw, or it could be
and
like
a friend tried to talk me through it during COVID times for about a half an hour or so. Not actually a crossover episode thing. Different guy here in town. And it was not to be because I can't. I can see your booty over
Hey, there it is. On my butt.
there. It's a mubbut.
It's a spicy meat the butt. No, you stay in your fucking hole. Sorry, guys. I have it's a guy. He's a family friend.
So I
Like
saw
my
a thing.
weird uncle's buddy. He's just crashing with. He's been here for months. He's a weird. He takes up all the oil. It's weird, man. I don't know what he uses that fucking oil for anyway. I got to use it to scoot it around. You shut. I'm so sorry. You were saying something.
I think you're doing great. Whatever it was that I was going to say, I can't remember. It must have been really important.
Yeah,
We are
that's the
getting
name of the game.
precariously into my candy eating time, so just so you know.
All right, man. You were late.
It was totally my. Well, I was here for a minute and you weren't on yet.
I
so-
was listening to a song from a musical.
What song? What musical?
It's called Poppy. It's from a YouTube musical. It's not a musical about YouTube
Poppy?
like Jerry Seinfeld made a movie about Pop-Tarts. It's a musical on YouTube. I forget what it's called. Straight Outta Oz.
Okay.
I dig it. I dig like half the songs in it. And
That's allowed.
and it's like a series of music videos, but they're like strung together as a thing.
There's too much stuff.
There's too much stuff. Yeah.
There's way too much stuff. I stopped recommending like music and shows to you for a very good reason because you said that's great. I'll never get to it. I'm like, yeah, that's the point.
Yeah.
Not gonna
I'm like
happen.
just now getting around to shit that like I've been meaning to get to for years.
I had so much shit put aside to listen to. Every once in a while, I'll look at my Spotify thing like, oh, I remember when I was going to listen to that.
Yeah.
Didn't
You know that
happen.
Kendrick album, To Pimp a Butterfly?
Yeah.
We talked about? I
10
own
years.
it. Never listened to it. I like him. What I've heard of him. But I haven't heard like the
made it
quintessential
through the
thing.
last two Jason Isbell records. And
Really?
I think
The
a lot
last
of
one
him-
is really good.
I'm sure
There's like it's I think it's his most like densely packed with good songs.
I bet you the
since-
next one's going to be really good too.
I know.
I bet you I know what it's going to be
I'm
about.
so sorry for the
I'm
kid
it's
and
terrible.
and the happiness that they thought they found when you think you found the one and it's my person and stuff. But man, that album's gonna be good.
It's,
I hope he doesn't start drinking again. I don't think
I
he will.
don't. Yeah, I
But,
don't want that. But
but like I fucking
I want. I
Heartbreak
simply
is
wonder.
great.
Yeah.
A rich
like
vein
Heartbreaks
to
and
mine.
808s. Is that where you were going?
808s
with that?
and
Your favorite?
Heartbreaks. No, actually, the Kanye album I was talking about, which is one of the reasons I haven't listened to Kendrick yet, is because I haven't really, I don't know that I'm there with the culture yet, like contextually. So I wasn't there with Kanye's album that came out in like 2010. My Beautiful Fuck Time Fantasy
Yeah, I don't know.
thing.
I haven't listened to anything
It doesn't
he's done
matter.
in ages. I don't
Anyway, that's the one with Power, Monster, and All of the Lights on it, and those are like some of his fucking best work. The
I don't
first
know.
half of that album is a masterpiece. It really is. And
I'll
like,
believe you.
and he did change the game with that album that you were just talking about by accident, I think.
Okay.
808s and Heartbreak, because the rapper singing their own hook thing that maybe used to be a thing, like in the the Biz Markie days and stuff like that. Eminem kind of did it a bit, but no, he did an R&B like electronic album in 2008. That wasn't a thing. That wasn't like a thing since like 1992.
Jules, nobody's doubting his talent.
That's what I'm saying. So, like, but then I have a hard time listening to that stuff. I've rediscovered it recently, but I have a hard time listening to it because of the fact that he's a fucking Nazi now. He's legit just said Hitler's cool. Oh, speaking of that, hey, Tully's here.
Hey! Oh, what? Hey there.
Obviously, somebody didn't get the memo.
I get every memo.
What memo?
The sunglasses memo.
Oh.
Oh, hold
Yeah.
on a second. I can
Okay,
fix
I'm gonna
this.
boot you. I'm gonna boot you. Yep.
Fuck off. There
Yeah.
we go.
Fuck off!
I thought that guy would never leave.
Um,
Oh, play your song.
I'm gonna
Or
play a
do you
song.
want to let him back in and then play your song? Or
yeah,
what
let's
you
do
wanna
that, because if I let him back in, like if I make myself all big, I let him back in, then that happens.
Okay.
So then I just have to do this anyway. Yeah. But, Telly, I'm gonna mute you. Unless you want to mute yourself. Hey, go mute yourself. I've
That
muted.
Jedi stuff doesn't work on me.
That's my other roommate. He's been staying with me too.
Oh.
It's Scooty's friend. It's been a lot. I've had a
How are you now? How are you now, Scooty? Scooty?
It's me, Scooty. It's Mr. McMurray.
It's me, Scooty. It's
Song.
How are you now, Scooty?
Anyway, speaking of Letterkenny, here's a song about how neoliberalism and complacency can lead to fascism. Or it's a song about a ghost town.
And farts.
And farts. Oops, I did a fart. I'm Australian now. Bloody oath. How is that compared to my voice? Is that alright? Hey.
It's a lot stringier than your voice.
Yeah, but like volume-wise.
So far, so good.
Also, like my voice is made of chords. So
But
the
is it?
song.
Is it though? Is
I
it?
don't actually know.
Your voice is made of face. All I see is face. I don't know where the sounds are coming from.
Science. Okay.
Once.
Fuck. She blinded me? That's why I'm wearing the glasses.
Meow 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 meow.
I'm so happy to be back.
So much time lost.
Rolled into town about a week ago. Fog must have hitched a ride. Keep my head down, no one needs to know. Try to find a place to hide. Just once I'd like a clean getaway. Someone to believe the lies. These folks seem plenty placid either way. Dead stares from hollow eyes. I was looking for peace, but it's a touch too quiet for me. She don't like it here. I can't say I disagree. Everything seemed to stand still. Paralyzed, like this whole damn town was haunted, but the ghost forgot to die. Alright. my legs to stone. I can't remember why I'm standing in the street. Starting to like this place. What's the hurry? We ain't got nowhere to be. Oh, what's another 50 days? And what's the use of waking up when we could sleep? She cuts me loose before I'm dragged into the deep. Everything seemed to stand still, fossilized. It's best to move along from the town time left behind. Oh, ooh, oh, what the fuck? Double what the fuck?
Wait, what are you talking about? Everything's fine. I don't hear it.
So you've been watching X-Men 97?
I have not.
One episode left, so maybe just wait a week.
I want to watch it.
Yeah.
I just haven't gotten there.
Yeah.
But
Although I doubt.
Sorry.
Is that a pedal? Is that like, what is that? How are you doing that?
No, that's my board. That's the effect on
Arr,
my board.
arr.
And then I just do this.
Arr.
And you know, when I killed your brother, I sounded just like that.
I don't have a brother. Oh, fuck. Oh.
Yep.
Chris Eric. Oh, you killed my brother.
That was
oh my
totally me.
God. What a
Yeah.
coincidence.
Well, you're Roger Rabbit, so.
Who framed me? I did an Instagram post that didn't get enough likes where I posted who framed Robert Redford. And it was just a picture of him from Captain America: The Winter Soldier.
That's because I didn't see it. 'Cause I'd have liked the
It got
shit out of
buried
that.
by the algorithm. Whenever
I'd
I
have
post about
liked
my
it
fucking shows, like 40
and-
people like that shit.
Unliked it and unliked it and reliked it.
Yeah.
Did you? Oh, hi, Telly.
Hi, Telly.
Have you joined us?
He's here.
I was muted the whole time. I was trying to ask.
Oh,
there-
hey, what's
yeah.
up, man?
What's up?
Hey.
Is this
Hey,
what
Tel.
you're using? Something like this is what you're using your board?
Man,
Something like
you
that?
are-
That's it exactly. Yeah. Is that a bear?
Oh.
Is that a Behringer?
I'm gonna make it
Say,
big.
It's an old. Wait a minute. Wait, I
You're
gotta get my
you're
fix
very
on.
poorly lit, Telly. Is that on
I-
purpose?
Well, yeah, I can fix that. Hold on a second. I gotta take my glasses off to see this thing. Who makes?
Yeah, me
It's
too.
an-
All of
it's
us.
It's an Alesis.
Oh, okay.
Okay,
Yeah,
That's
this-
the
let me
keyboard
go-
that sleeps in my car is one of those.
Let me go add some light. Give me a second.
In-
I'm not wearing any pants,
In
of
the
course.
carport,
Okay.
the unsafe carport, the
If you-
Alesis
I mean, I have a
sleeps
tattoo of
tonight.
Medusa on my ass.
No?
If you'd like to
I'm
see.
just gonna
No? Okay.
boot you till you put some pants on and maybe get
I've had
better
pants
lighting.
on the whole time.
Yeah, and we won't fault you for that, Chris.
I do have a halter on. I'm like, I thought they were spelling halter incorrectly, but what it is I basically have like a, I don't know, like something the size of a quarter, maybe like a stack of like 3 or 4 quarters.
Is that
And
better?
There's a fixed here. Do you
Slightly.
see it?
Yeah, that's better. Yeah.
If I have a heart thing at some point.
Oh,
It'll be
good.
fun. Yeah. I got shaved. That was weird.
For what, an EKG?
No, the EKG, they didn't have to do it. It was putting on the Holter. The EKG, they just went, this is going to be a little uncomfortable, and rip. But, no, and then there was the other thing where they do the...
Oh, yeah, the xenomorph.
Yeah, exactly, except they tried to go in.
I get that from my bladder, which is the jelly is very sassy.
I'm glad they, this is going to be cold.
Sassy
You're not wrong.
Sassy
See-
Jelly is a great episode title. If I hadn't already named the episode, I would.
Sassy Jelly is the psychedelic band that I never started.
Sassy What's the deal with Sassy Jelly? It's woke now. Fucking Jerry Seinfeld.
Wait, is he going? Wait, that's right. He said a thing recently like wokeness.
He's all about that. He said that the far left radicals in this country, of which there are like 12, like not even in Congress, just throughout the entire country.
Exactly.
And he said that that's why comedy isn't funny anymore.
Follow-up question.
Yes,
over
you in
here.
the back.
Ms. Bias. Question. No, question because I haven't watched it yet. How was that responded to? Did anyone try to discuss it with him, or did they just kind of laugh and play it off like that's our dumb uncle?
Jerry?
Yeah.
On the John Mulaney thing?
Yeah.
Mulaney is a consummate professional.
Yeah.
So like he did what he could to work around Jerry being the stick in the fucking mud that he was. And then when Stavros showed up, Baltimore native Stavros Halkias, shout out.
Nice boy.
By the way, he played that. He was at that show that I saw.
The
Cameron
Esposito show?
At.
No
Yeah.
shit.
Back when he used to shave his head. Yeah.
That's so good, man. That's so good.
I
He's so funny, man.
I love
like,
Stavi. He
yeah.
was not overly memorable that night.
But like,
pretty
you know,
early.
Cameron
Yeah.
Esposito wasn't the comedian she is today.
No, she
then,
was actually.
But she was still good.
She might have been better then because she focused less on her comedy. After a while, like
That's
she
true.
was-
She's
she
more of a
was
comedian activist.
She
sort
was
of.
a theater level comic playing a rock club. Like
Yeah.
she belonged in theaters.
Yeah.
She was electric.
Yeah.
And she didn't get that we were with her until about halfway through. She kept doing solid jokes that we already kind of knew, but they were really good jokes.
Mm-hmm.
And then about halfway through, she basically said, "Oh, you're here for me." And then she got off the stage and just walked off the stage and walked into the crowd and started talking to people, and it was amazing.
Fucking hell, man.
Fucking
Yeah.
no, she's brilliant. She's probably an even better now, just over time. But as far as like the reps that they put in, she was in that time where nobody was better right then.
Who was this?
She just fucking killed it.
Yeah.
No, Cameron Esposito.
Cameron Esposito?
Giannis is great, but that's a separate. Stavros is great too, but that's a separate.
Stavros is.
Please
Yeah.
continue.
I haven't seen his special, but like most comedy that I ingest, it is through podcast appearances.
I love him on his podcast appearances. Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's buddies with the whole group of comedians who I enjoy.
He has bridged the gap, and John Gabris kind of does this too. He's more of an improv guy. He's so
Okay.
fucking funny.
I know
Gabris
the
is,
name. I don't think I
yeah,
know.
he's a Comedy Bang Bang guy. So you know, you and Scott Ackerman, even though you
Comedy
get along,
Bang Bang, the Comedy Bang Bang.
Reggie Watts.
Love Reggie Watts.
Meh.
Yeah, I love him in theory. Yeah,
No, I love Reggie Watts.
yeah. He seems like a cool dude.
I tried to watch the Comedy Bang Bang show in part because he was involved.
Weird Al shows up.
I know.
So does
And I
Kid
tried.
Cudi.
I don't really know who that is.
He's a rapper.
Okay.
You'd like him.
Good rapper?
He's one of the good ones, I think.
Okay.
At times. Yeah.
One of the
Yeah,
good ones.
But
I can say
but
that. You can't.
Stavi, but yeah, absolutely.
Watch me.
But Stavi, that night he was fine. I remember him being there.
Yeah.
But he was still like a local
He's a baby.
Baltimore comic. Yeah, he'd baby.
He's
comic.
like my age. So if that was like 10 years ago, then he was
Yeah.
in his early to
He-
mid 20s.
he was definitely a better
So
comic.
he's a baby, you know.
But now he's in like New York with Morel and Mark Norman and
Yeah.
all those guys, and they're all like, really close friends.
Yeah.
Show up on each other's stuff. Norman, unfortunately, is turning into one of those guys who
One of those guys that you can't say anything anymore, guys.
can't stop complaining about it on
Yeah.
his
Ever-growing platform.
widening
Yeah.
platforms. Did we lose Telly entirely?
Yeah, of course.
Oh, bye, Telly.
Yeah, you scared him off.
Thanks for coming. Blame myself. I was going to see if he wanted to play a song.
What was this segment?
I ain't telling you shit. I don't remember.
That's
What's
you.
that?
That's one of yours.
I ain't telling you shit. I don't remember it, but
This is one of
sounds
mine.
like- Oh. Feeling froggy? Might jump?
Yeah, man. You gotta get that in check. Frog complex.
Froggity, check yourself before you wreck yourself.
Oh, you took the reverb off. Now you sound naked.
Did I let you down?
No, it's fine.
Oh, I just had it mixed way too, like I had taken off.
Oh, yeah,
like
you were
that.
drowning
Yeah.
in it. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I hear for myself, but that's because I'm running through GarageBand. But I'm not like pumping that through. I would if I knew how, but I don't think that's a
Yeah,
possibility.
it took me 2 years into live stream stuff to actually get the board out of the closet and plug it in. And it was not an involved thing. I just couldn't be arsed. And now I have access to like channels and EQ and all manner of shit that like those first like year and a half of VOMs, none of that shit.
Yeah, I mean,
Kelly,
my loop pedal was like sort of like that, where like I had it for a while.
Am I what?
Are you there, buddy?
Yeah,
I
he's
am.
there.
I'm here.
Okay. I
He's
just
just
hadn't
waiting
heard
in the
you.
wings.
I'm just kind of hanging back and letting you all do your thing.
I know he'll say something when he has something to say.
Well,
Telly, do you have anything to say?
You know, I got a notification.
Shut
on
the
my
fuck
phone.
up. Get out of here.
I should be so amused by
Sorry.
that.
Yes,
I
you
saw-
should. It's totally fine.
I saw an opportunity and I took it.
I didn't.
It doesn't matter.
It
what
doesn't
you think.
matter what you something.
It doesn't matter.
Back when The Rock like didn't have those big ass titties. Have you seen his titties?
Did
They're
he
big,
titty
man.
up?
Dude, look at The Rock from like 1999. Like, when he was in the Scorpion King or whatever the fuck, like 2002. And then
Yeah.
like look at him now, or look at him when he's in like the Fast and Furious movies. Like he's so much bigger. He's
he's
he was
hey
always
huge.
tall and like, kind
Big
of
fella.
like cut.
No, but he's hey huge now. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean that's like that HGH shit. Like you don't get that big unless you're using like one of the
Allegedly.
Liver King style. He's not quite to Liver
that
King
guy who's
proportions.
totally dirty. Yeah,
that
was hilarious.
dude, that guy, fucking.
That guy.
Oh man,
That fucking.
you know the Liver King, right, Telly?
I do.
Yeah, you've met him. Yeah.
Listen. I'm his prodigal son, and dude, like, I'm sorry. I mean, he admitted to having.
Oh my god, you admit it.
To having ab implants, because there's no way you can have a turtle shell 8-pack like that all year round without some kind of surgical.
He had
You know.
ab implants.
I mean, yeah, people get like muscle implants, or they like. I've heard of injecting oil
So yeah, something
into
called
your muscles.
It's something called synthol, and so synthol is when you see these guys who have like their bicep and under here,
Yeah.
their tricep, it's just like this giant bubble, which
Yeah.
looks completely inhumane. Like like the amount of times synthol has been used effectively and actually it looked not like gross, I can probably count on one hand. But yeah, The Rock. I don't see again. Knowing a lot of wrestling, there's this wrestler Scott Steiner who went from.
Oh my God!
Yeah.
Remember when Scott Steiner didn't look like that, and he just
Yeah.
dressed like a? I don't know why, Jules, but there's
look
a couple periods of wrestling that I know, and then I know nothing about it.
Yeah.
But like Scott Steiner looked like. Remember, he dressed like an amateur wrestler. He had the headgear,
Yeah,
and he
it's
was
a
just,
collegiate wrestler.
and he was like an in shape guy, and then he went from
wow.
that. That's like fucking like Guerrero did it too, unfortunately, which is what killed him.
Oh man.
Yeah,
Jesus.
Eddie. That's when I tapped out on wrestling when
Was
Eddie
it
was
Royce?
gone.
Tapped out.
Yeah,
Royce
sorry.
killed him? I didn't know that.
Oh, he had an enlarged heart, which was from.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that makes
Yeah.
sense.
No, Benoit is the guy who did an
CTE.
annihilation. Yeah.
Dude,
Yeah.
that's yeah. So, anyways,
No, two different
Stein-
people that happened to.
well, Steiner was on roids when he was still looking the collegiately. I mean, they were all on roids. He was yoked even then.
Yeah.
But he kicked it into high gear and completely changed his look because the thing was NWO was coming out and they had to kind of shift. And WCW wasn't cool anymore, blah, 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 blah. But he's done so many, the reason I bring this up is he's done so many steroids that what happens is, and you'll see this with people who've done steroids.
Oh,
is
I'm
they're-
sorry, Telly. Before you finish that thought, could you turn up a little bit or lean in? Because I'm having trouble hearing you. I want to hear this.
Sorry.
It's okay.
Question for you before I continue. Am I getting like mad reverb on my mic as well?
No.
That's weird because I take these video Spanish lessons with the guy. He's like, you've got mad reverb. I'm like, what the hell is it? Anyways, so he has, when you see people take a lot of steroids, they'll have like separation in their breastplate. So their chest will, so he has like this giant spacing between his titties, tits. And he just got it covered with a big tattoo, but it's so pronounced. And I will go ahead and Scott Steiner.
I've got it up on the screen now.
Do you?
Ugh. Oh, I see it. Is he still working?
Oh yeah, he's still working. But you know,
And
a lot
his-
of these guys, he's like
Yeah.
semi-retired.
And who was his older brother?
Rick Steiner.
Yeah.
Now Rick's son
Oops.
is in NXT under the name Braun Breaker, and he's doing all
Okay.
the Steiner's oldness. But yeah, blah 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 blah. Dude, it's a carny business. It's a family business. It's
Always been a
generational.
carny business, yeah.
The Rock
And
is like a
parallels
major shareholder now, though.
Is he
He's,
really?
Yeah,
He's
because
also a
I
third
think McMahon
generation.
had to divest. I think like
a lot of it.
the
Does
Hey,
board.
Please,
that mustache wax costs a lot, man.
Did you read the indictment yet?
Against McMahon?
Yeah.
No, I did listen to a 6-part podcast about him.
Okay.
So I know a lot of the alleges, but no, I have not seen the actual like legal.
I will. I thought
Document.
I might have emailed it to you. I definitely sent you both the Skeletor Cumrag meme.
Thanks. Yeah, I saw that.
Unfortunately-
Yep, I saw that.
Remember!
My army of minions,
Yes.
buddies. What if that's how minions were made? That'd be so fucked up.
Oh my God! You know, I saw when I was in that place that that the younger child gets like his collector's cars. They had a bunch of Minions toys, and I'm like, March is coming up again.
I'm going to.
I love those fucking minions. God damn it.
So
I fucking love them. Like,
They're
just
so much
both
fun.
movies. So good. That first one is so good, though.
Never
They're
seen
so
them.
much fun. They're
They're
fun.
great. One of them's on Netflix, and one of them's
I
on
saw-
Amazon.
I want to say I saw the 4 is coming out, by the way, and I'll
yeah,
be
yeah,
there,
yeah.
and we'll see it in the fucking theater because
I think that may be one of the. I'm seeing the Apes movie in theaters because I just watched the third one finally, and I loved. The third one's fucking so good.
so good.
But I love all three of them. I think that's like a sleeper hit trilogy of
really
the
good.
past like 20
I
years.
really enjoyed the movies.
Yeah.
three
So
of them.
I've only heard good things about this one.
Heard very good things. We're either seeing it's Mother's Day, so it's
Mark Mother's Day.
yes, exactly from DeVoe, Belle Biv.
Belle
Devo?
Biv. They weren't there. DeVoe.
No.
Yeah.
They weren't there. Oh yeah, and Poison. The
that
the
girl is.
talking part in the middle. Oof. You don't. Ooh.
It gets me all wet.
I know.
So, Chris, I don't have your email, and probably it's for the
Good.
best.
Yeah,
but
yeah,
there's,
yeah.
There's
keep
the
it that
link
way.
there's the link for you at some. I know the eye thing, but like what you can do is, you know what might be great is take that link, save it somewhere so you can look at it later. Have one of your children read it to you out loud to practice reading, or Joylene, which would be also hilarious. But it can be like, and then
Dude,
he said,
dude, You're already creeper out. I don't think I'm going to add to that. I don't
Really? Oh, she see. Well, just wait till she sees the. Okay. Well, because some of my 3 latest reels just made their way to Facebook, and one of them is the dick flute. Jules, do you know about the dick flute?
No, Telly, what's the dick flute?
Oh my goodness gracious, the dick flute. Hold on one
I
second.
can't believe I have to log off already.
Oh, darn.
No. Really? No. Okay, hold on. But the dick flute. Hold on.
Actually,
You
no,
were
I've been on for
leaving
over an hour and
anyway.
a half. I shouldn't push
Yeah,
it.
you were leaving.
I really was. That's the truth of the matter is. And if I wasn't before,
Well,
Blues, I may very well see you on Monday.
all right, hope so.
Is Monday, is this where you're flying solo?
Maybe.
Okay.
He said he'd let me know,
So
I'll check in.
When he lets you know, let me know, because
Fuck whatever you're saying. Here comes the dick flute.
mute him quick.
Hold on, let's hear what he has to say.
Wait, let's hear it.
No, come on, let him cook.
Have you ever had a shit so deep it puts your butt to sleep?
Yes,
you
let's
go.
definitely hear him out.
Is that actually? Yeah, it is. It is. It's a dick flute. It's does just what it says on the tin. All right, so Chris, you can go, I guess.
If you could just, yeah. Is he?
He's
bringing it
working.
home. Is this big finish?
Hey, you gotta work the balls through the snap. Hey, it's never over. It's over.
Hey, you can't say that word.
Hey, you can't say anything anymore.
You can't
know?
say anything
Yeah,
anymore.
come on.
Hey, you should be able to say whatever you want.
Hey, you know, I mean, come on.
I'm working on the yelling Sly because
Yeah,
the quiet
yeah.
one's easy.
I'm more of the what's the word? Oh, indignant Sly. Like,
Hey, come on. What do you want? You know,
No, it's also
I was justified. You know?
you're trying to make a point.
You drew down on me, so I
when you think
shut up.
about it,
I thought they were the chosen people.
Hey, who chosen by who? You know?
See, I can't do it. I got the OH rating.
Oh, Sly, are you all right, bud? Oh, boy. Okay, he stubbed his toe, everybody. It's fine.
What I started to say.
Was. Have you seen the South Park episode with Stallone?
Nope.
Oh, it's so good.
I haven't seen South Park in a very long time. I've heard very good things.
Yeah, it's peaks and valleys. Yeah,
Yeah.
now they got this weird deal with Paramount Plus, so like they're only making specials. They can't call them specials
Why not?
because of a contract something. So it's a
Somebody
streaming.
have, like-
It's a streaming event when they do it.
Event.
Yeah, and I think they've made like one season of their show in the past like 3 years. Yeah, like for Comedy Central.
Sure.
Dude, you've seen the have you seen the whatever documentary or whatever when they show how they make an episode in a week?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah,
That's
I saw.
excellent.
Yeah, I saw that.
So-
like when
so
it came
I
out.
guess they're not doing that anymore. I guess if they're putting.
No, it's all like
specials
digital, like QuickTime. Once QuickTime was like a thing, then they stopped like doing it like that. Like and now, who knows what fucking video software they have. Like they're fucking rich as shit. So like
yeah,
their
sure.
studio is like a machine. They can churn that shit
in.
out
Can you
if they
imagine
want.
Yeah.
like going to the Oscars tripping balls, or was it the Emmys?
They were doing something.
I think it was the Oscars because they were nominated for a fucking Oscar
basketball?
for Orgasmo.
Yeah, that's the
Really?
one. Oh, I couldn't pull that name. Oh,
for
damn
fucking
it.
South Park the movie. For Blame Canada, they were nominated,
that's
and then Robin
right.
Williams did it in the opening number,
Oh, that's right.
and
How's Gracie, fuckface? Yeah, that one. That
Yeah.
was the one that hurt my brain.
yeah,
I saw, and by the way, saw the South Park movie in the theater at the Charles.
Ooh,
who is
There's a
she?
reference. There's a reference for you.
Is that a
Dylan.
Baltimore?
Yeah, that's a Baltimore.
You were doing a Baltimore? Yeah.
It
right
was a
there in
Baltimore.
Govins, right? It's a pretty iconic theater.
It's on Charles
nice.
Street. Yeah, it's great.
Yeah.
I saw it back, although they renovated it and put a bunch of screens in. I saw it back when there was one theater, and it had like torn like black drapes up,
Yes.
curtains up. It was
Yes.
so, and I swear
that.
I saw.
Sounds haunted as shit.
I saw I saw a Taxi Driver there back in the 90s, like the mid 90s in a revival.
Dude,
and I'm like,
yes.
but it was like at midnight in
Chris,
fucking
can I ask you a question?
mid 90s Baltimore, which was basically 70s.
Can I
New
ask you a
York.
question? What's the movie you said?
Taxi Driver?
And are you talking to me?
No, no sir.
You, are you talking?
No,
you
sir.
talking?
There's a
Well,
reference
this
that I
looks like
understand.
this looks like me.
No.
Well, there's nobody else here, so you guys are talking to me.
That's what me.
Now I want to murder Jodie Foster.
That's all I know.
That's all I know.
That's all I know.
Just put a GNT in that cocksucker. That's all I know. Couple GNTs. That's all I
You know
know.
what, Blues? I'll.
You can get the fuck out of here.
I'll send you a text. Maybe
Yeah.
you'll read it.
Watch the John Mulaney thing.
I want to.
Read
Yeah.
the indictment.
Read and please
It's
read the
so-
Vince McMahon
it's
indictment.
so
And with
good.
that, I pass you off to Telly.
so
Telly,
good.
good seeing you. Sorry we didn't get more time.
Likewise. That's okay. I hope you feel better and all that jive.
I hope I feel better as well. I
Yeah.
love the glasses, though.
Likewise.
Thank you.
It's great.
Some Back to the Future throwback from
And
Pizza Hut.
an Untaken.
A tartar. Booted him. He's
Let's
back. I didn't
see
boot him.
here.
Oh,
Let's just go ahead and I'll scroll about halfway through. As detailed herein, McMahon was adamant about having Miss Grant send him explicit photographs expressing upon her that it was part of her sexuality.
Yep.
Given the control that McMahon had over Mrs. Grant's employment, she felt compelled to comply and sent the explicit photographs to McMahon's mobile device. Miss Grant was routinely assured that the photographs she was providing to McMahon were to remain private and were part of their secret world. So you know. Oh wait. Notably, McMahon was most aggressive when using certain sex toys named after male WWE wrestlers and performers. McMahon named the sex toy so that the color of the toy matched the race of the wrestler. For example, a black dildo, in parentheses for some reason, would be named after an African American wrestler, and a white dildo, also in parentheses, would be named after a Caucasian wrestler. In addition to McMahon's infatuation with pretending that other men, and namely certain WWE's talent, were in the room with them, this was yet another incremental step in desensitizing Miss Grant to his fantasy and eventual demands that she perform sexual acts for and or have sexual contact with others within WWE. That is literally 2 paragraphs. Highly recommended.
Yeah, I think I heard like snippets from it on 1 or 2 news podcasts that I consume weekly, and so when that came out, like they did some quotes about like some of the phone records and just crazy fucking shit, man.
My favorite part, and again, I will just keep repeating this, it's worth a read. My favorite part is McMahon is notoriously a headstrong, I do shit my way, I'm in creative he would change scripts last minute that people worked all week on, right? But so the text messages he sends, it is so clear he has turned autocorrect off. And it is like, my phone will not tell me anything, and just these spelling errors are like, for someone who's a billionaire, I had higher expectations for the level of English language competency, and I was extremely disappointed.
Most billionaires are fucking stupid.
Dude, there is no reason for that to even, like, you know, you've seen the memes and you know, like, just it's a unfathomable amount of money.
Yeah, it's insane. What would you do? You don't need $1 billion ever for anything. You just don't.
Yeah, I would legit. There's that meme I saw that was like, I would be Batman with it. Like, oh, homelessness, fuck that.
Right,
son.
I'd be
You
real
know?
Batman though. Like what what the real hero version of Batman should do, not in a comic book world where
Right.
Gotham City is like an actual, you know, what Republicans think Detroit and Chicago are, like
Why does-
Gotham City is in the comics.
Why does Batman never go into the surrounding metropolitan area? Go to the Gotham County and like
Right.
get some crime
Why
there,
doesn't he fuck with white collar crime?
right?
You know?
Like,
I mean, we know.
well, because
Because
he's
then he'd
part
have
of
to
the
come after
problem.
himself.
Right, exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, Wayne, what is it? Wayne Corp?
Wayne Enterprises,
Wayne
yeah.
Enterprises.
Yeah.
What do they even make?
Exactly. They are like a big umbrella corporation that makes
on.
fucking everything from pharmaceuticals to R&D for the government for military shit, to transportation. Like it's a catch-all, you know? It's
Find out.
no, it's fucked up. There is a terrific show called Harley Quinn starring, you guessed it, Harley Quinn is the main character. And it's about like she breaks up with the Joker and then she like goes off on her own adventures, but like it's very much like a Batman show because like the Joker's there.
Is that the one with the girl who's in Barbie?
No,
Was she in the movie?
that's movies and she's great. Just in general, like Margot Robbie's like fucking great,
that's
but
her name, yeah.
but no, this is a cartoon.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh no! Oh, a friend of mine. Oh, that's right. A friend of mine.
It's right up your
was-
alley. I think you
friend
dig
of
it.
mine was loving it, and she was like, "Well, I can't get the newest episodes," and so I sailed the high seas for her. And apparently, my understanding is that, and here we go. I'm going to use some Jerry Seinfeld. There is some Rainbow Mafia goodness happening.
Oh, it
Like-
yeah, it's fucking beautiful. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's so oh my god, like I'm not gonna spoil it, but
No,
like
I
it's
should
gorgeous.
watch it.
And it is a great show, but like one of the plot points, and I'm gonna spoil this bit because it doesn't really affect the plot at all.
That much.
Bruce Wayne is arrested for financial crimes.
No, I mean, like, that's the thing is, I mean, ChatGPT is like, does finance and biotech and defense and pharmaceuticals or
Right,
I don't
exactly,
know.
exactly.
There's loopholes in all of this.
Yeah,
but
it's all fucked. It's all like a jambalaya of capitalism, and it's a nightmare. It's a hellscape. It's a dystopia. Really, it fits all the descriptions of a dystopia.
At first,
I wish
gave-
Gotham City was real.
Eh,
You know,
I don't
because
know.
then we could
Batman
like,
should be able to
okay,
do it.
maybe we should do a fascism, but like it's not. You know what I mean? Like these measures that from the to quote you, the protests that I love, these methods being deployed on these campuses, it's like nothing is really bad enough for you to like beat up an old lady. Yet. It's gonna get there if shit keeps doing. If they just keep doing fascism, we know where it's gonna go.
Purge.
Yeah, it's gonna be the Purge, or it's gonna be Mad Max, or it's gonna be Waterworld, or it's gonna be one of these fucking dystopia nightmare 1984, Fahrenheit 451, fucking
Road is
Brave New
my-
World hellscape.
Have you read The Road before? It's my personal favorite.
No, but I know what it's about, and that tracks.
The movie does do it justice. So if you see the movie, that's all you really need. But the book.
Okay,
Is,
I like Viggo Mortensen.
Yeah.
But like
But
the book is somewhere in this house.
Oh yeah, no, highly recommend it.
Yeah,
This is
and,
just, to me,
and I
it's
know
the
he's
most-
a great fucking writer, and he
You know,
did No
that's
Country
the,
for Old Men.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
The Road is the most realistic dystopian one that I think I've gotten into. No Country for Old Men, and then there's another one that he's famous for, and neither of those I could really get into.
Did he do In Cold Blood,
I'm trying to think.
or is that
Hold
Truman Capote? That is Truman
Where's-
Capote.
Chat GPT, come back to me.
You could just use Google.
Google's going to give me an ad for ladies' pantyhose.
You could just use AdBlock, man.
Okay, what has Cormac McCarthy written?
Yeah, that's Truman Capote in Cold Blood.
Okay, let's see. The Road, No Country for Old Men. Blood Meridian, that's the one that I tried to get into. But the thing is, one of them had extremely like, it was kind of like in Scottish, like old Scot, and I was like, I can't. Or that was something else I tried to read. You know, I think with reading in general, like the prose has to click early on, otherwise the bind. Like I read Infinite Jest, and it was honestly, I read it incorrectly, so.
What, backwards?
Well, no, it's one of those books
Oh,
where
from the middle out.
not even. you need to have the actual physical book in front of you because there's an index in the back, and they are constantly putting like footnotes, like cite reference 2, reference 4, and you have to go to the back and read it. I read it digitally, and so I just read it like front to the end, and I was like, shit don't make no sense. It's basically an episode of Seinfeld on magic mushrooms, but not Seinfeld like. It's just fucking weird. I guess it's worth a read. It's just
How long is it?
it's fucking long. It's
Fucking hell, man.
But it's interesting.
When
but,
was
like,
it written? Hold on, I can look
yeah,
all
you
this
can
shit up.
Google that. But the thing is, and this is not even a spoiler. It doesn't have an ending. It just stops. And I was
Well, it
so
is called Infinite Jest.
What did I say? Infinite Jest.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I'm saying.
Um,
it doesn't end
It doesn't. Yeah,
because
because
it's in David Foster Wallace.
Yeah, which is, and he's great. He's extremely intelligent.
Mm-hmm.
But it was just like it was really good, and I was kind of into it. And by the time I was, but I should have like did the footnotes because like they connected, but also it didn't end, and I was like, well, what the fuck is that? Like, huh? And that, in a way, like in hindsight, at the time I was like, what the fuck is this? Now, as I'm speaking about it, I realize that I'm all right now in this version of Telly. I'm all about it because I love my songwriting. It's like, oh, here, I'm just gonna drop it right here. A B A B C A B. Fuck that. I'm just gonna write 30 seconds about I haven't used it yet, but I have audio that I'm waiting to use, and it's just me going, I just farted in my hand and smelled it. What have you done today? Nothing. And like. I'm just waiting for that. So, that's kind of Infinite Jest. It's
Interesting.
Kind of like
I was talking to Chris about this earlier about but with respect to once and future and maybe current Nazi Kanye West about how like. And I didn't really get to it because we go off on tangents all the time. But you're here. I'm going to subject you to this. When I first heard his 2010 album, Beautiful, Dark, Twisted, Majestic, Pony, Unicorn Ride, Fantasy Time with Happy People, the album, the movie.
That's what it's called, right?
Yeah, that's what it's called. It's the full title. With people fucking on the cover. I didn't like it. I thought it was like beat fetishism, and it was just very. And Kanye had just snatched the mic from Taylor Swift, so it was just very peak like Kanye ego stuff. So I thought. Little did I know that his next album would be called fucking Yeezus, and then he does like the black skinhead shit. Then he actually becomes a Nazi. Like I had no idea the depths.
Have you seen what his new partner, wife, girlfriend has been wearing?
Yes.
Like
yes.
And then
like it doesn't look comfortable. Even
as someone who,
and he picked those clothes out.
Oh yeah, so exactly. Now as a very proud old heterosexual white man.
Okay.
I don't understand Kanye's claim to fashion when he's always wearing black leather jackets, black jeans, and black boots.
Well, so something I didn't know about Kanye West in my new appreciation for this album, I like have been looking into like the impact he's had on culture in general, not just like the rap game, but like fashion. He had a big impact on fashion because Kim Kardashian is known for like her fashion shit. Like she always goes to the Met Gala. All of those, all of that terrible family,
right.
They're all known for fashion bullshit.
Right.
Before Kanye, they did not dress like that. They did not have their finger on the pulse of fashion. And he showed up and he like fixed their image problem as far as like aesthetics went. So he's got the eye for it. I just think that like at that point he wasn't surrounded by enough yes people, and now it's kind of an Ouroboros where it's just kind of a snake eating its own tail, and he lives in a different reality than everybody else. And people will still say yes to him because he's still Kanye West. Yeah. Nazi or not Nazi. Not
so
Nazi.
I, to kind of piggyback off the Kanye thing and the hip hop rap game, So I have this colleague who shows up late every single time. He came on time twice this week. It's the first time since January it's ever happened.
Congratulations.
And he shows up hour late while I teach his class when I'm not supposed to, blah, 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 blah.
Hey.
He comes in, he sits down, he does nothing. And he sits down one day and he grabs his phone. He's looking at his phone and he goes, ah! And I go, what the fuck? He's like, Kendrick Lamar just dropped a second diss track in 2 days. And I'm like, cool. How about we like
You teach your class,
class,
maybe?
you know? But now, as a old white heterosexual man who is proud of it,
Okay.
I sorry, I couldn't keep it without laughing that time.
That's
Sorry,
okay.
I tried.
It's very funny, though.
Okay. They
There should be like a day or like a parade for that.
God no. Jesus, no. We have like I am being now seriously half joking, half not, like being the super cool ally that I am, like to the point where I would have no qualms putting a trans flag tattoo on me. I am a fan of Black History Month, Women's History Month, but in the same breath, both of those are also American history and world history, so they kind of have to be kind of like encapsulated and everything.
Yeah.
And then like sadly, especially as a history teacher and as somewhat of a history buff, like you know, white men have been the focus for far too long, and yes, deserve to be the focus in some regards because good things are still happening, but like we have to kind of give voices to other people because there's been
Right.
a whole
I mean,
lot of
like
shit going on.
that like success or whatever you want to call it is only it's predicated upon the suffering and the stifling and the snuffing out and other S words that mean subjugating and just destruction of culture, like
Right.
to feed to the fuel, like to feed to the engine of the machine that is Western hegemony, I guess.
Yeah,
I
that's
don't know.
fair. Yeah, no, that's a good term for it.
Yeah.
And then I also wish that the Chinese had never invented gunpowder.
Man, wouldn't that be cool if we weren't blowing every fucking thing up? Like mining would be so much more economic, like ecologically friendly. I mean, like it probably wouldn't be as an industry that would like be propping up the fossil fuel shit.
Also, I feel like war, especially in our modern era, let's play pretend we have like all the other technologies, all the other, all the other stuff, blah blah, no gunpowder, no whatever. I feel like we've got video phones and all this stuff that after a while, if you're still seeing war fought like on the ground and like people getting swords in the throat, like eventually that would we'd kind of pull back and go, ooh, I don't know if I want to do that.
Yeah,
or at least it'd be a little more fair.
We almost had that with the mustard gas stuff in World War One. What was that? The Geneva Convention?
Yeah, when they were like, here are the rules of engagement.
Yeah,
which
there's
is a
rules
crock
of
shit.
warfare.
There's
But
no
now,
rules.
like, after World War II, once, like, Germany broke the shit, then all bets were fucking off. And then, allegedly, we went back to order, with the NATO shit and all those, the Treaty of Versailles and all that shit, all the shit that people, like, tout as like, see, we don't have to have a world government, but we can still have order throughout the world, except for when the U.S. doesn't want to. The U.S. wants to go somewhere that may be a war crime, but like we have veto power over whether or not that happens, and like there's a law in the U.S. that like if the ICC charges a U.S. citizen or a U.S. official with like a crime or tries to come arrest them, that they can like fight back with force, like armed force.
It's just a mess, and
Yeah,
part of
it's
it-
all
part
it's
of
all
it is-
handshake bullshit, and so when it's inconvenient for the people that are holding all the chips, the U.S. right now, for now, then they get to do whatever the fuck they want. They get to aid and abet a genocide and like not have to be accountable for it at fucking all.
It's just fucking. Well,
Yeah, it's
part,
gross.
Part of it is in terms of the NATO. With NATO, there is a certain amount of money and resources that each NATO country is expected to put into the UN forces and blah 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 blah. Some of those countries that are part of it are not hitting that cap or that threshold rather, or that the base whatever.
Yeah.
America puts in the most, and so
Right.
everyone's like, oh well shit, like, you know. And also, like, hell, if I was Estonia, who's, like, bordering with Russia, I would want America on my side, too. But then...
Of course, but then, like, what does that entail? Like, look at what's happening with Ukraine. We're on their side, and we're just like, yeah,
could
we're
put a
we're
fucking-
paying to keep this war going, but,
I
like,
don't understand. But, like, we could put an end to that shit right now. Just
immediately.
Put our boots on the fucking ground. Because what's...
There are plenty, like, you know, there have been multiple times where the Russians have tried to sue for peace, and the U.S. said, hey, NATO, we're not going to take that deal. We're not even going to fucking come to the table and try to stop throwing Ukrainians into a blender. And if the U.S. fucking gets involved, which it already is, we all know that. We all know that the U.S. is there in all but name.
Right.
You know, they've all but put
their-
boots on the ground.
Correct.
And I personally don't think we have any fucking business being over there. I think that, like, NATO kind of provoked this shit, and I think that, like, obviously what the fuck Putin is doing. Putin's a monster. Like, Dodoy. Come on.
I would posit that
North Atlantic.
when...
That's the NA in NATO. That's all I'm saying.
Fair.
Yeah.
When when Putin went into Crimea in 2014 and just steamrolled.
Yeah. Which was
and-
also a part of provocation from NATO, but, like, that was much less provoked. I
Really?
think he was kind of trying to see what he could get away with.
Oh yeah,
and he-
totally.
and then he
got away
totally,
with it.
and then he kind of got away with it.
But then, so that, I mean, that was the, hell, it's like my middle school students, like, oh, I can get the fuck away from this, what can I get away with next? And that's
Right.
why he pushed
Right,
it again.
right,
But
absolutely.
I guess I fail to see how Putin
I
going
don't
in
think
is
it was
a
inevitable.
provocation by NATO. Really?
Yeah, I don't think it was inevitable. I think that is like a thing. You know, they've been talking up Russia as a fucking villain forever.
Oh, yeah, Cold War,
Since the
totally.
Soviet Union fell and we destabilized their whole shit, then we've tried to, like, we've been searching for a villain. We made it, you know, it was black people in the country in the 90s and, like, crack and all that shit. And then finally 9/11. Oh god, thank god we got a 9/11. Yeah, oh fuck. Okay, Muslims now.
Fucking
Okay, cool.
Muslims.
And that's
What day
kind
are
of
they?
stayed. Then we have the border panic, obviously, which is kind of like a dull hum. The black people, obviously, still bottom of the totem pole. Get the fuck out of here. You know, but stay, because we need somebody to point to be like, they fit the description. And then in the Obama era, it was kind of like, you know, they eased back on that war on terror shit. And then, like, Russia started, like, we were still in the Middle East trying to spread freedom. But then, like, Russia kind of started cropping up as this thing. And so there was NATO provocation, which is what the fuck they do. They're like a military installation, again, in all but name.
So how did they provoke Russia?
By moving further and further east. Yeah. By, like, gaining, I mean, you know, that's what Vladimir Putin took it as, is a provocation.
So I mean, I guess I can see that. I think that
Yeah.
maybe.
It's like if the EU started, like, recruiting, like, Cuba.
Well, yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay.
And
But-
we had just lost a war to the EU, which would never
yeah,
happen.
but I guess, like, with Russia.
I'm
guess
not
I
saying
can't-
it's justified.
No. I guess
Yeah.
I'm not saying I'm not pushing back in that regard. I'm just trying to think, like, you know, trying to do a parallel here. Like, okay, so, you know, Soviet Union's broken up. It's
Yeah.
broken into Uzbekistan and Kazakhstan.
Right.
and,
All
you
the
know,
stands, and then all
right.
of, like, Latvia and all
Right, and
all that shit.
right?
Yeah.
You know, Estonia, blah blah blah.
Slovenia, blah, 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 blah,
Slovenia,
blah,
yeah. Ukraine, blah blah. And so, you know, Russia has signed a treaty with Ukraine. Give us your nuclear weapons. We promise never to invade you. Which, of course, crock of shit. You know, because
Right, of course.
you know,
Yeah.
But then 2014 they come in. Now I guess the only way I can, because everyone in the West is like, oh, Putin's going to keep on moving west and Poland next and da 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 da, and there's a parallel to draw here in that, perhaps Putin has it in his mind's eye that just like after World War One and Hitler's like make Germany great again, he's trying to reunify to some extent the USSR.
Yeah. I don't doubt that that's something that he wouldn't mind if it happened, but I think that he's not the most well-adjusted human being in the world.
Totally, of course.
To put it nicely, I think he's fucking batshit crazy. To put it, bluntly.
Right.
Medical, but that's still a medical term. But I think that he is savvy enough. He's a KGB guy, so he's savvy enough with world politics to know doing a Hitler won't work, especially now in this time, even like in an incremental sort of piecemeal thing. But like I said, he is fucking batshit crazy. So I can't really vouch for anything that he like. I can't make any claims about anything that's going on in his fucking head. Like, right. You don't get to that seat of power and that level of wealth because like the power is money here, but like also in Russia. Like they talk about Russia being communist. They are capitalist as fuck, man. Right. We killed that communist ass shit. Like it's an oligarchy, dude. Vladimir Putin is suspected to be the richest man in the world with like $200+ billion. So you don't get to that level of power, that level of like notoriety, and that level of like wealth, and still have a firm grasp on things. So I think in theory, he wouldn't try to do like a westward expansion sort of whatever.
He's smarter than that, yeah.
I would assume, but at the same time, like I said earlier, most billionaires are fucking stupid.
But it's just a matter of
and like disconnected from fucking everything.
I guess
Elon Musk thought he could buy Twitter and make everybody like him. And now it's just filled with Nazis.
But yes, I just don't understand the end game then in that he's spending so much money on this. Crimea was taken, spending so much money on continuing into Ukraine.
Yeah, I think it's a fool's fucking errand.
He's going the meat grinder.
He's throwing his army into a meat grinder. I think it's just a war of attrition. I think he just wants. I think he thinks, and rightfully so, unless there's intervention by NATO troops, or which let's be real, that would be the U.S. signing off on that. So that would be the U.S. basically declaring war on Russia.
On Russia,
right? Which. That's bad. And I think it's a gamble that Putin took, and it's,
But also, like, the U.S. hemmed and hawed about, intervening in World War II. And those, right, they did.
They almost didn't get involved in World War One.
Right, but I mean, World War II. I mean, you would think with World War II, like
World War II, but they had like business ties. Like two of their biggest like industrialists had made like huge bank off of the Nazis. So the Nazis were helping fuel the American economy.
Oh, totally.
Yeah.
But I think that's what, and I guess this ties into. I mean, again, was the world always shit, or is it just now? Like. It really just comes down. Well, yeah, it just comes down to, it seems like with what's going on in Ukraine, what's going on in Gaza, it's not so much the human loss or the tragedy. It's the how does this affect our bottom line? And of course, I'm not saying anything new to you.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean that's it, but it's framed as this moral battle, but the morals are obfuscated and just it's all opaque and so gray, even though like if you really look at it from an actual moral standpoint, it's pretty clear who the aggressors are, more so obviously in like Gaza, but like in Ukraine and Russia, like it's pretty obvious that Russia is the aggressor here. Like provoked or not provoked, they launched an invasion and they're doing this shit. And then we can go like who's sued for peace and blah 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 after that. But No, it's corporate interests that drive the whole fucking news machine. Like for-profit news media is an insane thing. Like state-run news media isn't great. You know, that's you but you at least you
Right.
understand that of course the state's going to say the state's doing good. You know what I mean? But like when there's corporate interests and like it's never going to be
CNN town
upfront. Like
hall with
now,
Donald Trump because it draws ratings.
right? Exactly. You know, like the DNC understanding that Donald Trump driving more ratings means that more people will be focusing on the election, and he seems like such a beatable candidate because he's so unserious. So we've tracked these numbers, and Nate Silver called us and told us that something. So let's actually pay for more Trump airtime. The DNC did that thing. CNN, Jeff Zucker was like, "Oh man, he's great for ratings."
Yep.
Yeah, I mean it's
Oh yeah, because ratings dipped when he was out of office.
right, exactly, and like obviously he's great for ratings. He's hilarious. What are we talking about? But
Oh, did you hear his latest one? He says
Oh,
he's ambidextrous.
he's so great. It's comedy
Hold
gold,
on.
man.
Hold on, let me
Oh
pull
my
it up.
god. I wish he would die, slowly, a painful death. But also I miss him.
Okay. Here we go. Yahoo News will go here. Let's see. I'll just try to do Tibia. Okay. Okay. Trump, following a question about separating his legal trouble from his family time, said he's able to put it aside before adding that he's very ambidextrous, so to speak. I can do a lot of things at one time, Trump said, and I'm willing to do and able to do things and lots of different things.
Fuck, man. He's gonna win. That
He's gonna
sucks
win,
so
I
much.
know.
I hate it. Fuck, dude.
It's-
Yeah, like this shit can't stick to him. Like, you know,
It's-
he's
no, it's
he's
terrible.
unstoppable. He's not going to jail. Sorry,
No.
libs. He's not going to
Sorry,
jail.
he's not going
Sorry,
to jail.
sorry, kids.
He's gonna
That's
get
not
a
happening. He was the
stern-
president.
a
They won't let that
stern
happen.
warning from the judge. Don't
Right.
be in contempt of court.
Hey,
for an
you're going to
11th
make me
time.
consider maybe thinking about assembling a committee on whether or not we should jail you for contempt for like an hour.
Judge is like, if you do contempt again, I'm going to jail you. And now the definition of contempt is going to change.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, it's fucking maddening to me.
Yeah. Yeah, but it's the same shit. Like, you know, Mueller me once, shame on me. Mueller me twice. No. Can't Mueller the Mullerer.
You can't muller the muller again. Won't catch a fool again.
Mueller me once.
Although even though like there's such a darker context to it, Bush getting a shoe thrown at him was hilarious.
Oh my god, both shoes. Dude
He
threw
ducked.
both his shoes and he dodged both of them.
And he's like, I murdered all your people. Ah!
What? Oh. Neo in the Matrix.
God. What a
Yeah.
fucking, that's a whole other...
And then he
What-
gave Michelle Obama a candy, so now he's fine. And he doesn't like Trump, so that's great.
and he
He's a good
pleads.
person now. He didn't kill a million people
It's
and
just-
start ISIS. He founded ISIS,
Really?
essentially.
Yeah.
Like the diaspora from Iraq, you know,
Well, 'cause, yeah,
created by that destabilization, they
yeah.
eventually, you know, like that jihad is basically based on all
But
of
the Taliban went away, and then up came ISIS.
Yeah, there was a power vacuum, and then ISIS was just like, well, we don't have anything to do because our jobs were taken away like overnight. Like they fired half the military overnight. So like they sent a bunch of guys home that had guns that knew that there's a great podcast called Blowback on the Iraq War. Their first season is on the Iraq War. It's fucking incredible. I think it's Brimmer is the guy who was like overseeing this shit. Insane, man. Just so many times it could have been okay. Like it didn't have to be so fucked, but like there was like profit seek like fucking Ferengi ass Star
Black
Trek
Rock.
shit. Just like, oh, well, we can just cut this. Like they got business guys in there and just like, let's cut the education department. That'll save us some money. I forget how many billions of dollars went missing. I think it was like $7 billion in cash went missing during the Iraq War. It's like one of the, yeah. So, you know,
Man.
I mean, like, you know, if you're not whatever pilled, red, white, and blue pilled by that, then I don't know what the fuck to tell you, man. You know, between like that and then like the stolen election in 2000, that shit is wild, man. Like, and this Gaza shit is radicalizing so many more people. Like,
It is.
I can't. What's the scarf thing? A kafta? Is that what it's called?
I think so. have no
I
idea.
can't tell you how many like young people I've seen walking around with that shit.
I have seen a lot, and now
Yeah.
I'm like, but you know, again, as a very proud old white man, isn't that cultural appropriation?
I don't think so. I don't think a scarf. I don't think
Sure,
so.
I think I might get canceled if I wore one though.
I don't know. I think in this economy, I think you'd be okay because I think it's like wearing a trucker hat. You don't have to be a trucker to wear a trucker hat, but if your trucker hat is red and has 4 very special words on it, then you know, you're signaling. That's really what it's about. It's
fear-
literal virtue signaling, but like in a good way.
I have a lot of respect for people who wear the red trucker hats that says "Made You Look."
Oh, that's
Because-
great. Or Make America Gay Again, I think is my
But
favorite
like,
one.
you are literally, you're you know, because again, there are people on both sides of the political landscape, far and middle, who don't read. They just see a red hat.
Right. No, man, I'm not gonna act like my heart doesn't go up into my throat every time I see somebody in a red hat. Black or white. I have an uncle.
He's one of the black people that likes Trump,
He loves him.
dude.
My
And there is-
grandmother had to stop talking to him because he
Oh.
wouldn't shut the fuck up about Donald Trump
Oh man, I'm sorry to hear.
and how mean the media was to him. And you want to know the real shitty thing about that? I really liked him. He's so funny. And he's like so personable and kind. And he just got duped, man. These motherfuckers out here just grifting people. And it
Oh,
is
totally.
very upsetting.
Well, that's the whole Candace Owens thing too.
Oh, Candace
Okay, no,
Owens.
we'll
poor
pull back-
poor
no,
Kansas.
no,
Poor
we'll pull back from
Kansas
that for a
Owens.
second.
That's my name now.
Are you from now? I don't know the guy's name, but there's some black politician who's like, we shouldn't get reparations. If anything, we should be thankful that they brought
Tim
us over.
Scott?
Like, I guess that I have no idea.
Is he a
it's like,
senator?
Maybe.
I'm
I
gonna
think he
look
might have
up
been
Tim
running for
Scott
president,
reparations.
but
He's in
it's,
South Carolina, the guy I'm thinking of.
He's definitely a Southern guy, but it's something along the lines of, like, you're doing a disservice to all of the people who, like, if you're complaining about how bad things are now for black people, then you are doing a disservice to the black people in the past who, like, broke their backs to make life better for you. Like, you have no idea how bad it was. Or I might be, I wouldn't say embellishing.
Sounds
but I
like
think
Bill Maher.
I'm probably getting some parts of it wrong, but the kernel of it is pretty much there. Is
Yeah.
you know,
You know, I think that it should be mandatory, at least like in the DMV area, to go to the Black History Museum in like on the mall. You know,
yeah.
have you been there?
I have not.
It's,
There's
I mean, you know history, so like you probably
Break it
know
down.
a lot of that stuff, but like it is excruciatingly informative. I'll put it that way. And the theatrics of it are incredible. You start at the bottom of like this 2 or 3 story building, and like the whole thing is like the museum is just the whole thing. There's like a food court thing, but like it's basically just you go and you walk around a path, and you start in 1400 in the Netherlands. and then you just go from there.
Fuck.
And you can imagine the journey.
Yeah, the Netherlands did not do nice things.
No, they started the transatlantic slave trade.
Yeah.
It's why it was called the
Dude,
Dutch East Indian Company.
When I was in Pennsylvania and I was getting certified to teach social studies, when I went to take the praxis exam, one of the essays showed trade routes between Netherlands, Africa, the Caribbean, and America.
Mm-hmm.
And the essay question was, explain the trade routes and what each country gave and received and how it benefited them. And I had no fucking idea how to answer it. I was completely deer in the headlights. So I literally was like, I guess America sent wood, and Africa, somebody went and got slaves from Africa and sent them over. I had no idea that slavery started in the Caribbean at that time. I was in my late 20s. I just kind of, my first minor in college was American history, but I just kind of I had a history teacher in college that was made it come alive, and I was like, holy fuck, he told stories about Jackson getting sloshed and fucking shooting people. I was like, oh, this is great.
Yeah, man. Oh my god, dude. That guy. Oh my god. Every fucking president, really, but that guy of presidents, he's really one of the worst ones.
Yeah.
I mean, he's amazing. His story is incredible.
Right.
But he's one of the worst
also-
human beings to ever hold the office.
Yes.
Yeah. Much
Yeah,
worse
they
than
don't.
Trump. Yeah.
That which is hard to imagine.
Yeah. But
because
I
they-
understand Donald Trump. Andrew Jackson's hatred, the level of ire, just vitriol within him.
I need some more Andrew Jackson education then. Because
Oh,
I mean,
man.
I know
Oh,
he's a
man.
shitbag, but,
There's
I
a
just know,
podcast called The Dollop, which I feel like I've talked about.
I think so. I've heard of it.
But
yeah,
it's an American history podcast, and it's messy. The baseball ones are hilarious and fun, but
Sure,
most of
like
it's
some.
about how let's see. I'd split them into three categories. There's baseball, there's some sort of expedition, and then there's don't trust white people. Yeah.
I don't like that last one because of me.
As a proud
As a proud heterosexual white man, I am trustworthy.
You're one of the good ones,
I
Telly.
am one of the good ones. I am
Yeah.
one of the good ones. I'm an ally. I'm an ally to the point where I have to tell you that I'm an ally so that you know I am good. I don't use my actions, I use my words.
Look at my yard sign.
Dude, I have a friend who
No.
no
Nope.
has a yard
Not buying it.
sign. Not even, it gets better.
Oh.
So she has a child who is non-binary, and she has a sign on her lawn that says, "In this house we say gay and retarded." And I
What?
was like, yeah, she's got it because she's still ally adjacent and cool with everybody and science based and agnostic, but also she's I'm not playing with the word police. And in a way, again, Carlin and euphemisms, what happens is okay, saying the word retarded is no longer politically correct, right?
Yeah.
But then what happens is people start saying, well, what the fuck's wrong with you? Are you developmentally delayed? Well, then that becomes the new thing.
Yeah. No, it's an
Then,
Overton window.
Right.
Yeah.
So, but in the same breath, to a certain extent, well, yeah, that the word retarded now carries and language shifts and language changes.
Mhm.
And so that word carries so much heavier weight than it carried a heavy weight always, but
Right, but now it has been ghettoized as a word into just being a slur. So
Right, exactly.
it's become taboo.
right.
Where in in music, you play music,
Yeah.
So
it's-
you
it's
know what a
retard-
retard is,
right.
you know,
And
like in a
then-
song.
yeah, totally. And the thing
Right.
with the
But then there are
pronunciation being-
people who, like, if you say that, they'll get on, you know,
Right.
you
Because
know.
everyone's. I was just before I jumped on today. I watched last week tonight about libraries and how the far right are coming for libraries for books that they don't even actually even like this.
No,
This
the
librarian-
media literacy of the right in this country is so sad. Like, they do not have critical thinking.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
why they're all reactionary, and they don't have
Seriously.
media literacy, which is why they
Right.
believe all this shit that they read.
Right. No, they don't. They don't look through it. So
They don't look. They read a headline and then they're like, "Oh, drag show at a school. They're trying to
Exactly.
make our kids trans."
Exactly,
The fuck are
no.
you talking about?
So they had this the librarian director like fired by the library board for stocking books that she doesn't even stock. And at the library meeting, which is filmed, they're like basically eventually it's like justice is going to come down from you on high, and at a certain point we can't protect you. And she's like, they're showing up at my front door with guns strapped to their backs and all blah blah blah. She's like, I resign. And it's like, because what? Because you're listen. And somebody else said this great, and I'm kind of spoiling the whole episode, but like, if your child is making their way into the young adult section where these books are, they're not in the children's picture book section. If your child is making their way into the adult section where these books are, and they have a cell phone in their hand, the book is the least of your fucking worries.
Oh, abso-fucking-lutely. If they have access to the internet, you don't need to worry about a fucking book. They've already seen all that shit.
Right.
If they like have unfettered access to the internet, which a lot of kids just do, especially if they're on like fucking TikTok.
Oh yeah.
Like,
Dude, fucking Kia
it's not all
boys.
dances, folks.
That's why I don't drive my fucking car anymore, is because of, I mean, not just because of TikTok, but like that shit like made its way up into the greater fucking just you know.
Oh my
popular
god.
culture.
Have you heard about this? Like, I don't know how.
Oh, in DC, the shooting.
No, the fucking TikTok ban thing.
Yeah, I'm so. There, it's multi-layered, but I think
mean,
that ultimately
it's-
we
it's-
have other priorities that should be more pressing.
Well, there's that. I think it's threefold. Especially like as of this week, it's threefold. There's that where like, so we can't get like a healthcare bill on the floor of the house. That's the least. That's just a bill. It's just a bill. So like, all you just have to do is write that, and then just have someone in a committee say, "Yeah, let's put it forward." You can't do that with healthcare. But you fast track this fucking TikTok shit. You need that shit so you're so horny for that you loop that. Here's the other one
looped
that
it
you
into
loop it
Ukraine.
into the
I hate that
foreign
we can
aid
fucking
funding
do that.
package
Why
to
is that even
prop
a
up a
thing?
genocide and a war we have no business being in.
Like why is it? And this is I have hated this about the second that I learned this was a thing, I fucking hated it. It's like, okay, I want to make a law about stop human trafficking. Human trafficking is bad.
Right.
And then like while I want to make that law, oh by the way, I want to tax Coca-Cola. Like why are they together?
There
fucking-
should be, like in a library, according to genre. That should be your fucking law shit.
One fucking law.
Yeah,
Or if-
one
or if you're
thing
gonna-
applying to at least if it's gonna be like a widespread sort of shotgun thing, then at
related.
least have it be in one industry
Thank
or
you,
something like
yeah.
that, where it's like a cohesive thing. But to have the war funding bill be like the tax cut bill, but also the let's fuck around with Coca-Cola bill, and also like the let's stop TikTok bill. Like, what the fuck are we?
It's the
What's
only,
happening?
And the thing is,
We haven't even gotten to Mitt Romney yet.
Oh, I don't know anything about what's going on with him. It's just
Oh,
something
I'll
with
let you
him.
know. Don't worry about it.
So, I mean,
Don't worry, sweetie.
Okay. Mwah. But yeah, it's a fucking. You know something. I wonder like. You know, because I know that one time I told Chris that our conversation devolved into ass play, and he went back and he watched it and he was like, "Oh yeah, man, that was something else." Or like, "I'm glad I missed that." I wonder if like he knew that like just once he leaves, it just goes straight into fucking politics.
That it wasn't always like this,
No, I know.
but now it is, and I don't mind it.
I don't mind it either. I
Yeah.
like, talking with another intellectual person about these
Yeah.
things. But
I'd rather
also-
talk about it with you than somebody on the fucking internet.
Yeah.
Like, I don't talk to people, so.
Dude,
fuck
the
is that
internet's a
gonna be?
fucking cesspool.
So, Mitt
Yes.
Romney
Yes.
had an interview with, shit, was it fucking, the guitarist from the State Department? Let's
Not
see.
familiar with that band. Are they any good?
No. He's the Secretary of State. And he does black people blues music, and he's bad at guitar. What's his goddamn name? Romney.
Did you see Steven Seagal went to the
Man.
Putin's fucking inauguration?
No.
Let me show you. I'll pull up the picture.
Oh shit, man. Let's see. Mitt Romney interview TikTok. Yeah. Where was it? Who It was yeah, so it was Anthony Blinken, yeah, the Secretary of State, and Mitt Romney, and they were talking to each other.
Oh, hold on, it didn't work.
Oh,
Keep
Bing,
going.
huh? You want
Yeah,
me to
but-
Bing it?
No, there's a whole thing with Bing, and it doesn't work anymore for me. But if you use Bing search, you can get Amazon gift cards, and so I was like, okay, shit.
Okay, well, this is being recorded and broadcast, so.
Yeah, I know. But hey, listen, I also I the other thing was sometimes when I use my VPN, Google asks me to do a CAPTCHA, and I'm like, fuck you. And Bing's like, whatever, we accept you as you are.
Please use our website. So
Sorry, Blinken.
Mitt Romney, Miss Romney, and Anthony Blinken, Blinkmans, they had an interview with each other, and I mean, it was just basically them jerking each other off. And Mitt Romney brought up a very just, I would say it's funny, but it's like horrendous. He's like, why is Israel's PR so bad? Like, why has their PR been so bad? You know, like in the past, you know, they would do these things, and then, you know, they would get their marketing team to you know, massage the message and massage the message. But he wasn't that eloquent with it. You know, like, and now that they're wearing dead women's undergarments and, you know, pissing on graves and blowing up churches, it's not working anymore. And and then they got into like the social media stuff of it all. Then they got into the TikTok ban. And so I'm going to look up. Just let's see. Just clicking on the first fucking link. I'm not doing the why has Israel's PR been so awful? So funny. Yeah, anyway, he goes on to basically just tell on all of Congress that, like, the reason this TikTok ban has proliferated and has, like, skirted through so easily is that there's so much pro-Palestine talk. And then he talked about, like, the metrics, how, like, on Facebook it's this percentage of pro-Palestine stuff, but on TikTok it's this percentage. And then he goes through, like, you know, that ratio, and then he talks about how because it's young people and because, you know, such and such, whatever fucking boomer ass shit that he says to denigrate young people and act like they don't know what the fuck they're talking about or looking at when they see children's bodies being cried over in rubble by their parent, who is the one surviving member of their 15-person family. So, yeah, he just basically says, so that's why we had to do the TikTok ban. Because there's too much pro-Palestine stuff, and because Israel's marketing is for shit, so we have to fucking help them out. He said it. He said the thing. He said it. He said he did, you know, the DiCaprio, like, oh, he did the thing.
Hey.
He
Yeah.
did it. I
just-
can't do the whistle that DiCaprio
I
does in
can't-
that scene.
I can. But it's just.
Yeah. They're
know
it's
that's-
complete mask off at this point. They don't give a fuck. Like, they're just
But also, I mean, TikTok was also. Well, you have social media like
Barely.
influencer mills, right? Well, influencer mills and all that, but like there was some pro-Russia stuff going throughout social media. There's some
of course.
pro-China stuff. You
Yeah.
know, this,
But like,
you know.
we do that shit.
Oh, we do it totally.
Right.
I mean, hey, we do it too. I mean, the Facebook, you know,
Yeah.
news shit. It's just a matter of I'll related but unrelated. One of the very, very few things that I liked that Trump did was
That money?
no.
I like that money. I got a PlayStation with that money.
No, I mean I got this drum kit with that money, but then
Nice.
like also my mortgage rates are 2.5% higher, and I'm paying
Well,
more
yeah.
for eggs, and like it's not a good trade off.
I don't know if that's just his fault, but he didn't fucking help.
He didn't have no.
He
It
did not
was
help.
Going after Chinese like intellectual property thievery. Like for example, Martin Guitar, who I am a massive fanboy of Martin. Like they got doxed or whatever, fucking firmware, a DDoS attack or whatever. And next thing you know, China has all their schematics
Yeah.
for how to make all their guitars, and they're pumping out cheap copies. Things like protecting American made products made in America.
Or just how about protecting like the works of people that like worked really hard on some shit.
Right.
Protecting IP, not
Right.
having, which is a problem I have with like this OpenAI ChatGPT fucking nonsense,
Yeah.
where it's just like cribbing from pre-existing shit,
Yep.
and then you're calling that original, and you can pass it off as original because, well, it hasn't been made in this certain form. It's like when everybody started making like a Fender Stratocaster body. It's like, well, the headstock's different, so, and like the
Right.
guitar doesn't sound
No,
the same.
exactly.
But-
No, they don't. But so that to that end, I was a fan of that in the sense of like protecting IP, protecting
Yeah,
people's
but
intellectual
that
properties.
motherfucker doesn't care.
Oh no, but
No,
like,
it was
he
just a purely a political posturing. He wanted to make shit easier for him. You know what I mean? So like fucking over China means that the U.S. is still the hegemon in Asia, or in certain parts of Asia.
Right.
And a lot of times when people shit talk China, which again, much like Russia, their shit is not good.
Oh, that's a capitalist society.
But China is fucking capitalist now.
Oh yeah, totally.
Like, they have a communist party, and like they're like Xi Jinping is, I think, of that party, but like he's a capitalist
you have to be these days.
through and through. If you want to be in the world market, if you want to be a mover and shaker, yeah, you got to be a fucking capitalist. Of course, capitalism run the world. Who run the world?
Capitalism.
Yeah,
Bad bitches.
and bad bitches and girls and billionaires and corporations.
See, if you want it, you should have put a ring on it. I disagree. Just put $100 in their hand and you're good to go.
I mean, that's my motto. But like for me, not for like other people. It's just like, you give me $100, I'm good. Let's do whatever. Cool.
WrestleMania 41 is in Vegas, and I'm just gonna go in and get fucking.
We're only on 41.
I know, right? But I'm gonna go get me go to one of the ranches.
Did they skip the COVID year?
No, they did it. They did it in an empty arena during the pandemic. WWE did this really stupid thing. Well, it depends on who you ask. Where they went to their performance center, which they have a place in Florida where they train wrestlers and all that. Blah, blah, blah.
Florida.
Of course, it's now, right? And they like got the arena and they put television screens in every chair, and then they would like have people Zoom, which may or may not have been real fans or could have been employees, whatever. But every screen's a different person watching the show, and so they had 2 nights of WrestleMania in an empty arena. Which, hey, good for them. Like, dude, the WWE is taking fucking
screens
solid
of
money.
people's faces?
Like they would
Like they had like an iPad, like that episode of Community where there were iPads on broomsticks?
haven't seen it, but I'm
Oh,
guessing,
that's
yeah.
also something I think
need to
you'd like.
watch Community. I do need to watch.
Community's great. Community,
Chase is
and I
a
think it's
fucking
Chevy
asshole,
Chase's
though.
best performance. You can skip season 4, but I'd say just watch it so that you'll appreciate seasons
Yeah.
5 and 6
But
better.
again, not a Chevy. I mean,
Chevy Chase is a
good.
piece of
He's a
shit,
piece of shit. But
but what
the
he
work
does
is
in
good.
that show is like,
It's good. Yeah,
I mean, he's
talented.
playing himself. Like Dan Harmon, brilliant fucking writer, writes to Chevy Chase and like plays to his strengths, and he's basically just playing himself, and he's at times just a straight up villain of the show, and it is some of the best television. Like seasons 1, 2, and 3, I think are like some of the strongest TV. Yeah.
Oh shit! I typed in the wrong thing. Hold on a second. So I may be in the minority, but
No, that's me.
Not for long.
I'm not Latinx. We ain't taking over.
Every single one of my Hispanic students that I've ever asked about Latinx, Latinx, have looked at me like I have two fucking heads. They were like this, and they haven't said that's white people shit, but it's white people shit.
It's white people shit. Yeah, of course. That's why I say Latinx, because I know it's silly.
It's but in the minority.
But like race is silly because it's a construct. But like so is money. So what are we doing?
Right. So in the minority of people who actually liked Robert California on The Office.
James Spader?
Yeah. People didn't care for it.
No, James Spader, whatever he is in, he elevates.
Yeah,
Boston Legal is a show I was going to reference, but I didn't know if you'd get it. But
Haven't.
William Shatner, that is his best performance because he's
wait.
basically just playing William Shatner.
Wait, it was a comedy, wasn't it?
It's a legal comedy drama with William Shatner and James Spader, and Candice Bergen shows up, and then it's a night court reunion because John Larroquette shows up,
Dude,
and
John
it's
Larroquette,
just
underrated.
fucking. It's really good procedural legal. It's David E. Kelly's finest work, I think. And he's done a lot of shit. That's the Abby McBeal. That's the Ally McBeal guy.
Only 9 seaters. Let's hope. And I'm gonna get Community.
Community.
I watched,
if you're gonna watch anything, watch Community. But let me know when you get to season 2 if you do start watching it, because then I will need you to just like. There's a certain episode in there which is one of the best episodes of the show that is not on any streaming platform because woke, and honestly, it is because woke. Like. It's the D&D episode, and it's so fucking good. Oh my god. And Ken Jeong's character dresses up as a dark elf, so like in blackface, but not blackface like brown shoe polish or something,
Right.
like literal black paint, dressing
Did
up
you
like a
hear
drow
about,
from.
Sorry, keep going. Sorry, I cut you off.
Yeah, no worries. From like D&D lore. And they cut it off. They took it off the platform because they were like, oh, it's blackface. It's like, did you watch the episode? They literally tell you it doesn't matter. Anyway,
Of course not.
so
there was recently there was these kids, and again I get most of my news from Reddit these days. These kids were awarded $1 million because they were expelled from an elite Christian private college, but it turns out that they took a picture, the 3 of them in blackface, but it turns out that it was actually just a face mask, like an oil, they were doing like skincare, and they had like all the fucking evidence to prove it.
the receipts, as the kids would say,
They had the receipts.
literal receipts though.
But also, in the same breath, like I guess my brain also travels to like, how could you be so tone deaf to?
Yeah, why would you take the picture?
Right.
Yeah.
So, again, like, well, dude, that fucking, yes, okay, I'm just going to tie it in. Like, yeah, you can, like, remove people from your fraternity,
Yeah.
but it doesn't change the fact that they made monkey noises at a protester.
Oh my fucking god, dude. Yeah. Like, yeah. That's yeah. It's all
fucking
about
look.
fucking optics and posturing, and like the narrative that you're changing. It's like, well, I mean, sure, I guess you can get some heat off of you for that, but like that doesn't change that like what made that shit manifest. The Republican Party can disavow Donald Trump all it wants.
But it's not.
That doesn't mean that they didn't precipitate Donald Trump through their embracing of Nixon and Reagan, and before that fucking George fucking Wallace and Strom Thurmond and all of that shit, man. I mean, like, it's just it's in your DNA.
So, my mom, who
Yo, mom.
while has, as you are aware, has a great large share of bigotry and racism and all of that.
Yeah.
She fucking hates Trump. And she has been telling me the story a couple times about Trump's mentor, a guy named Roy Cohn.
Yeah, Roy Cohn.
And just like
Famous asshole.
Yeah, famous fucking asshole.
Yeah.
And I knew nothing of him, so I'm just kind of going down that
He's a
rabbit hole.
lawyer.
But and then so
Well,
that's
he's
just
dead.
That,
Of
that's
AIDS.
That non sequitur. Really? Oh yeah. Oh, that was yeah. She told me that too. She was like, "Oh, he never married. He's in the closet." And of course, she has a fucking. She's anti-alphabet. You know, she won't outright say it, but every time it comes up, I saw her for dinner like that last Tuesday, and she used the term bull dyke like 4 times.
Boy, oh boy.
You know, I was like, holy hell. I was like, that is some outdated lingo, and you are very bold for still using it. But in that same vein, all these fucking Nazis, like, carrying their flags and marching downtown, why are you wearing masks, you fucking pussies?
Right. Like, I know why, like, the leftist protesters wear masks, because, like, cops will beat them up, and, like, you right-wing fucking nut jobs will dox me if I'm like down there.
Well, you know, but I guess the same is true.
I guess, but like, you know,
the cops
where's your
won't attack
pride,
you.
right?
Yeah,
Your
the
white
cops
pride. You're the master race, and you gotta fucking hide like a little bitch.
Dude, that's just there's so much fucking turmoil and angst, like, and that made me think about that clip where, again, saw it on last week tonight, but it also was famous before that. The guy's like holding a Confederate flag, and you know,
Is it the
flag-
slavery thing?
Yeah,
Where the guy's like, well, my family was too poor to own slaves, so
Do you know how much they
so
cost?
that's not my fault. Is that one?
Yeah, he's like, do you know how much slaves cost back then? And like,
Yeah,
the line
that's
he
so
speaks back, it's
funny.
like, holy fucking shit. You would have never guessed in a million years. But like all in the grand scheme of things, like, although it's kind of humorous, if you're going to answer that question, I guess that is the correct answer to give.
I mean, I guess, but like, I hope you have a follow up after that.
It's definitely,
Yeah.
you know what? It's got to just be sassy snaps.
Uh,
That's the
you should
follow-up.
patent that.
Dude, I have a song. I have a copywritten song. It's on ASCAP called Sassy Snaps. Highly
Oh, you're an
recommended.
ASCAP man.
I am an ASCAP man. My dad. Hold up.
I'm
you
more
know,
of a
not-
BMI boy myself.
I'm not going to take it down, but I have my hanging.
Chad.
You know, hanging in my place here is, you know, again, the first time we did What's Your Fucking Deal. My dad is, you know, 3 degrees from Juilliard, Carnegie Hall, blah blah blah. I have his ASCAP membership plaque. It's framed from 1954, and so it's just kind of I'm a legacy.
My favorite Ask app is Jeeves.
I like Jeeves. Oh, so wait, let me
Ask
go all the way.
app.
Let me go all the way back to how, as a old straight proud white man, I am now no longer immune from knowing, like, apparently there is a heat map of all the sexual assaults that have happened in Drake's house, apparently.
Is that a part of this Kendrick beef?
It is a part of this
It's
Kendrick.
crazy that's been the main through line of the night is the Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef.
And again, I have not listened to these. And my colleague asked about it because
I listened to the very first one, the Control verse that Kendrick put out, where he like fired off on everybody and then like circled back for Drake. And then Drake came back with the album that he put out. Then Kendrick dropped a track, Drake dropped a track, and then it's kind of been back and forth. And then apparently, like last week, earlier this week, Kendrick put out one, and then the internet decided Drake is done now.
So
Drake
my
has left the
understanding is
chat.
that- oh, Drake is done. So
I haven't listened to it. I haven't listened to the last one.
According to
Euphoria,
my colleague,
is that it?
Euphoria. I think there's
Yeah.
another one called Meet the Grahams.
Yeah.
But so my understanding from my colleague, and again, I haven't listened to this because like I told him I was like, well, I wanted to kind of listen to him, but I know that I don't totally understand all that.
That's
and
what
sometimes-
and Chris and I were talking about that too, because his kid is like super into Kendrick, and so he like sat Chris down and was like, "Hey, listen to this. This is like crazy. What's going on right now?" And like a diss track is not a good litmus test of an artist's, like oeuvre. It's much better to listen to an album of theirs. So if your first introduction to an artist is this diss track shit, you may not really appreciate the way they operate within their field.
Right.
I've heard a bit of Kendrick. I've heard, sadly, more of Drake just because he's around. But like, Drake is just such a nothing burger.
And I'm told he's fucking. Well, I've seen videos of him being a fucking asshole and blocking traffic in Philly. And
Yeah.
I
Also,
hear
like
stories.
he's like a serial flirter with
girls.
underage girls. Yeah.
So basically, what my colleagues, the gist was that apparently, when this beef started, Kendrick Lamar's first plan was to release a 21-minute diss track, but then
Fucking nerd.
Exactly. But he very correctly, and again, as someone who is in the hey, I've got 5 monthly listeners on Spotify right now. It's a whole fucking 5. But as somebody who's like, been in this world a little bit and have friends that, blah, 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 he very correctly decided to like break it up into pieces. And so what happened was,
shit.
and this part I am sure of, diss, blah, 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 blah. Kendrick puts out a diss track. Drake a couple days later puts out a diss track, and then immediately Kendrick drops the other one that he has in the fucking tank.
And that is what Chris's son pulled him aside to say. And that was the same thing that your colleague did, I guess. That was like the same day where it's
like,
just
holy
like,
shit, yeah,
oh my God, he did another one. Oh my God.
Yeah, it was like, holy fuck.
Yeah.
And then apparently it's, and, so there's all this just coming out of the woodwork. But yeah, so apparently with it, somebody made a top-down view of Drake's house and put little pins in like,
God.
here's all the
So
you and
that
your
is,
friends.
I see. That is an escalation. That and maybe it was like maybe it was like a Cosby level, Weinstein level, industry wide, Louis C.K. level secret where like it's a secret but only to the people that aren't in the industry, and so it may start fucking coming out that like Drake is a shady motherfucker, but yeah, like he killed his career with Adidas. Didn't he have a deal with Adidas, and then like this fucked that shit up?
It's Drake. Is it Drake Bell? Is that his?
No, that's a different Drake.
Oh, is that the guy from?
That's from Drake and Josh, who's also involved with underage girls and some assault stuff and maybe some trafficking.
I think.
But then he was also assaulted by Dan Schneider.
When I first saw. So again, this is me dating myself here. When I heard about the Dan Schneider thing, I was like, who the fuck's Dan Schneider? I looked at a picture and I was like, fucking Dennis from Saved by the Bell, which is a reference. It's a television show you're likely not familiar with.
No. I know. Wait, what was Time Out? And then time would freeze, right?
Yes.
Yeah. No, I know where Mario Lopez. I know why we have Mario Lopez. I've seen Saved by the Bell. I've also seen Saved by the Bell of college years.
No, not Saved by the Bell. No. Head of the class.
Oh, Howard Hessman, head of the class. No, I am not familiar with that.
It was an okay show, but fucking like.
Was it like Saved by the Bell or Boy Meets World, but from the 80s?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
It was basically. Teacher goes into a class that's like kind of underperforming, and he's a so you got the Boy Meets World, like I'm your mentor thing going on.
Yeah.
But it was a comedy.
Fine.
But yeah, so I can't find the picture of the fucking heat map. But anyways, like Drake and Bell, apparently that guy resurfaced.
Drake Bell, yeah.
Drake Bell, Drake and Bell, Drake and Josh. Sorry. Again,
He's a
that
dragon. Drake
that
and
was,
Bell.
That was after my Nickelodeon time, so I kind of missed the boat on that one.
Yeah, Drake and Josh. Yeah.
Snick was where I stopped.
Yeah, they were on all that.
Yeah.
So so Josh Peck of Drake and Josh was the fat kid, and then I don't think Drake was on all that. I think like Josh then
Brat, yeah.
Josh and I think Drake and Josh then went to the Amanda show. Amanda Bynes had like a sketch show that she did after all that kind of like fell off. And then they got their own show, Drake and Josh, which was not a sketch show. It was kind of a sketch show, but it was basically like Keenan and Kel or
Right.
the Cosby Show, but kids.
Right.
But with just as much sexual assault,
And feet.
apparently.
So Drake Bell apparently resurfaced in Mexico doing
Resurfaced. That's never good.
Well, you know what I mean. Like
No, I know
they-
what you mean,
yeah.
but it's
But
never
like,
good when that's
he just
the
goes down there because he speaks Spanish apparently, and he's
Right.
doing like commentary or
See.
like hosting or whatever. Which same thing. Let's go back to professional wrestling. A lot of the professional wrestlers that like, oh shit, they've worn out their welcome in America. They've done a bunch of shit they needed to escape. They might make their way down to Mexico, and they fucking just go down there. Or even fucking worse, Puerto Rico, where fucking Bruiser Brody was stabbed to death.
Oh,
You know?
Jesus.
They're fucking. They don't fuck around.
Hey man, that's still America, baby.
It is America. Puerto Rico should be allowed to vote. If
They
we
should
were
have it. They
fucking,
should have statehood. Absolutely. 100%. Yeah.
You know, if we're gonna fucking.
If we're gonna rape their fucking land for resources and like, you know, and like subjugate their people to our tax code, but like then they should at least get the shitty benefits that come with being an American
Right.
citizen.
Like socialized healthcare.
Oh yeah, sure. We have that. Don't look it up, kids.
Fuck.
Yeah.
Hell
We're
of a
we're
hand
we're, we're
basket.
fucking doomed. Did you hear like I've been saying for the past 7 years that we only have 7 years left of like comfort and stuff before like the water wars start. Climate scientists came out this week and said that like as of now and this has been the number I've been saying for the past like year or so, 5 years. We got like 5 years of comfort left. And then shit's about to change like fundamentally in our society. Like resources are going to be like, you know, drying up, which will create mass migration movements, which will create like land wars and resource wars. And like, you know, it's just, that's the cascade we have coming for us.
I
And,
saw something about ice caps melting like somewhere else recently.
oh yeah, the Antarctic ice cap has started melting. Like a big one, the ice shelf there has started melting a lot. Because like Greenland's ice shelf has been melting. The Arctic, like the northern Arctic, that we've basically like given up on that. The Antarctic was like basically the last bastion of like hope for temperature control, and now that shelf is melting. So.
Sometimes I'll see Instagram reels of, or I saw YouTube or Reddit or something where it's like a clip of a bunch of like African guys in Africa, and they're in a hot tub and they're like, you know, dancing or whatever, and they're taking bottled water and they're pouring one out for their homies to show like how like rich they are because they can just pour water out.
Wow.
But they do it like, it's not like this.
Oh
You
no,
know,
it's
they're
like
not
this. It's like
bam, yeah, exactly. Look at me, I can waste water. But then they're not like, you know, which
It's
is
precious.
like, well,
Yeah.
it's fucking.
yeah.
you
No,
know,
we're all headed for Arrakis, Dune, desert planet.
like, we could have. There are measures that could have been taken to prevent all of this.
Oh, it's like the Iraq War. It's like every turn we've made has been the absolute worst one. We're just like slamming on that pedal to oblivion. So, you know, and
I mean, hell-
I don't mean to get political as opposed to what we've been doing for the past hour. But like, you know, people talk about how like, oh, well, Joe Biden is the last bastion of hope for blah, 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 blah. And it's like,
Well, compared to
yeah, but he's
Trump-
signed off on so many pipelines and like he's proliferating this shit. He's doing the same shit Trump did. You know, like in the grand scheme of things, look, I understand that I have privilege. I am a proud, straight, hetero, cis male. I'm trying to do the white thing. It's not working.
But
I
it's
try to
okay.
get the lighting right.
You can be a proud black male. That's totally fine. You're not though. But you're not self-hating though, are you?
Oh, absolutely not. I love me.
Okay.
It's the rest of the blacks I can't
Oh
stand.
my God! Yeah, I know, right?
Hey, no.
Oh, I'm not. Okay.
But yeah, man, I just see like it's either like with Biden, it's a slow march, and with Trump, it's a light jog. But either way, we're going to that cliff. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I mean,
Biden may forget where we're going, and so maybe he'll take like a wrong turn, which doesn't take us to the cliff. But like
they've all taken us closer. Obama.
Oh, of course, Obama has. I think he is maybe the most cynical president ever, because he took like the good faith mandate that he had and just fucking squandered it for corporate fucking bullshit and a Netflix deal. Like, it is really upsetting. And like, my parents love him obviously because they're boomers and they're black. So hey, did you ever think you'd see a black president? Fuck no. I lived through Reagan. No, I didn't. I lived through Nixon and like Lee Atwater and all that shit. I lived through George Wallace. So no, of course I don't think that. But you know, me, I was brought up, you know, in my multicultural rainbow fucking woke ass hive mind, the woke mind virus. But no, it none of them are good. So Trump, Biden, like, I'm voting uncommitted on Tuesday.
I have to actually. So I learned recently that I can go to the website for the League of Women Voters, even though I'm a straight, white, proud, heterosexual man, and they have. Who has seen more than 10 seasons of Drag Race? So I mean,
I'm about to go in on Sex and the City. Like I have some stuff that I'm trying to get through that like I've been catching up on, and then I'm just gonna go because all of Sex and the City is on Netflix now. Nice. Fucking powering through that shit.
But I can go on the League of Women Voters, and they have literally like all of the candidates for everything, and
they used to run the debates back when the debates were like good.
Ooh. I wonder if I can go to I Side With, and it has the upcoming election for. Are you familiar with that website?
No.
Okay, so throw into Google. It's isidewith.com, and basically what it is, it's mainly presidential, but you can take the presidential quiz, and it goes like, what is your stance on Israel? What is your stance on gun rights? What is your stance? And it'll like show you like percentage-wise which candidates you align with.
Oh, I
so
see. It's a quiz.
Yeah, so top issues: abortion, LGBT adoption rights, gay marriage, Israel, deporting criminal immigrants, gender identity, and it'll show you like who you closely match up with, and then it'll show like their positions on these things.
Immigration shit at the top of the page because that's what's in the news now. They're trying to distract from this Israel shit. I don't think it's gonna work, but they're doing border stuff. They're going to do Russia stuff, China stuff. Yeah.
2024 elections, districts, congressional, states. State, Maryland. So it only does House of Representatives and Senates, but like there's so many other elections.
I mean, that's
on.
good though. Like most people don't know the representative they're voting for. They just look at the letter and then they vote for that.
I mean, and that's kind of where
I know. I happen to know the guy that like is my representative because he's been like he was a state senator and like he would come to local events. You know, like.
So, but I do want to look at these senators and representatives because I know that right now, like David Trone is throwing a shit fucking ton of money at things.
So much money, and he's bad, and so is his opponent.
Angela also Brooks.
Yeah, they're both pretty bad. She was like a prosecutor, so she's basically like Kamala Harris. So
dude,
like
Kamala Harris laughing about putting black men in jail for marijuana, I will never fucking forgive that.
Yeah. I mean, like, she did a perp walk with a single mom whose daughter was truant because she was sick.
Like, and this
And then
is
she
where,
like a perp walk like on TV to be like, I'm tough on I'm tough on crime too.
But here's the thing, and this is where, like, again, with the political landscape, like, I feel like I don't get to say this, but it's like fucking picking her as your vice president is goddamn identity politics.
It
You
is.
picked her.
Of course it is.
But again, like, if too many fucking if I say that out loud to the wrong fucking person, all of a
Then
sudden
they're
I'm
like, "Oh, you
racist."
want Trump?"
No, it's like I'm racist and I'm fucking sexist.
Right. And you want Trump. That's it. That's the thing. It's fucking team sports. There's no fucking nuance. So like if I point out that, like, well, I didn't like Hillary Clinton, and it's like, "Oh, you're sexist." It's like, "No, she's
No.
fucking racist and
Horrible.
like does a disservice to women everywhere, and she covered up for her rapist fucking husband
I
for
gotta say
years
it.
and years and years."
Oh, I gotta
And it's
say
like, "No, you want Trump." It's like, "What the fuck are you talking about? You mean I want my people to be held accountable if they want my vote? Are you serious?" Like, and yes, they are, because they've been brainwashed.
See if we can get this.
Oh, let's get him. Hold on. She'll have you murked for sure. Absolutely, man. Yeah. It's debate club to all these motherfuckers.
It's fucking horrible.
Yeah,
And just the
it's
money
bad. Like, they don't take it
So-
seriously. They don't see the scope of the suffering. It's just like I was talking about with Putin, or I think I was talking about earlier with like Dave Chappelle, where it's like once you get past a certain, Dave Chappelle was born poor, and now he's making fun of poor people.
Right.
Like-
Dude, fucking Tom Segura, who I don't even follow that shit anymore, but like
Oh, is he another one?
he was definitely
that's too
He's
bad.
been making fun of the poors and like he's been calling them the poors. And he's basically just
Well,
went
see,
from,
now
like,
Natasha Leggero also calls the pores
But
the
she's
pores,
funny.
but
But
she's
she's
funny and is doing a character.
Right. No, he's basically
And she's married to Moshe Kasher, who's one of the funniest people on the planet.
he's drinking his own fucking Kool-Aid and he's riding the fucking Burt Kreischer and Joe Rogan fucking thing and he's put his
Tom Segura?
Tom Segura.
Yeah.
His first couple specials were really good and now he's just fucking on coast mode.
Ugh, it's so like, and it's so easy to milk that audience. You were talking about Candace Owens. That's that shit. You know, she's a failed like left wing sort of liberal
Oh, yeah.
kind
Oh,
of
totally.
media personality, and then she made a stupid fucking shitty version of Theranos, and then people shat all over her because
What's Theranos?
it's Theranos. Oh,
I don't know.
Elizabeth Holmes. She got.
The company, the fucking,
Right, the medical
yeah.
company, which was a
Yeah.
fake medical company that
Got
like
it, yeah.
promised a bunch of. It was like an Elon.
Yeah,
It was an
now I know
Elon
what
Musk
you're
style,
talking about,
over
yeah.
promise, under deliver, or just not deliver at
They
all,
gave
and
her
then
a
pivot.
shit ton of jail time though, didn't they?
Yeah, no, she's like 20 years in jail. Yeah, and it's only because she did it to rich people. And Candace Owens' thing didn't like go through because it was like so stupid on its face. It was like an anti-bullying thing, but it would like. You'd be doxing yourself. So, you know what I mean? It was like an anti-bully registry thing, but then like, you know, it's just a doxing factory. So it was just fucking stupid as shit. Anyway, so she gets burnt and she was trying to do some woke shit. So then she turns to the dark side, and then she just is like, "Well, I see that there's like
Money over here.
right, exactly, and there's a market for the pick me black person to say, hey, I'm black and I can say that systemic inequality isn't real."
Right.
And then Charlie Kirk is like,
See, one of them
and
said
I'm
it.
in, like, there's a video of Charlie Kirk, Turning Point USA, fucking
Yes,
shithead,
shitbag.
Nazi, like sitting next to Candace Owens while she says that, like, you know, like the Kanye shit, like slavery was a choice and shit like that fucking bootstraps, fucking contextual vacancy nonsense. And then Charlie Kirk is like looking at the audience like, can you fucking believe that we're doing this? She's just saying it. I don't have to.
Not to say it for me.
Yeah, exactly.
Fucking
It's
this
yeah,
fucking asshole.
and like That's the power of the almighty dollar.
But yeah, I mean, for the right dollar amount, I might be convinced to say.
Hey man, that's what I'm saying. Like I'm always like, one bad day away from selling the fuck out. And like, yeah, I'm a monolith for leftists, and I think socialism is why the economy's in the toilet, because there's too many socialists. Money, please.
Yeah, because then I get the money.
Right, then I get the money. And who's the socialist now, bitch?
Then when it's all said and done, you can be like, oh, yeah. Listen, if 20 years from now, Candace Owens has made all of her money, and she goes, psych, I was just playing a character for money, like.
Yeah, if she used, or like, if she turned around and used all that money and put it like back into the community or back into like social programs or something like that, yeah, sure. Then like, oh, you got me, you Kaufman'd me. You played the long game and I fucking fell for that shit, and I doth my cap to thee, sir. But what is the most likely thing is that it was a completely cynical move, and that she will take any money that she can from any source, like most of those fucking right-wing nut jobs who don't really believe in anything and just believe that cash rules everything around me.
Dollar bill.
Hell yeah, dude.
Fucking A. Okay. I need to eat.
I was about to say, that seems like a great place to cut it off. Telly, thank you so much for being our third chair for these past few times. I like this breakup because I know Chris usually has to go, and I really do feel bad about keeping him. Yeah. And I know you're a weird freak who likes to go into the wee hours.
I do.
So
especially when the summer hits, holy shit! And then once this starts back up, we're just gonna.
Oh yeah, man, and like more than I would expect of our guests that we love have like school-based conflicts. So like you're one, Sean Morse is one. So like when that stuff opens up, people with kids, obviously. So when that shit starts like opening up, like, yeah, who knows what the fuck is about to go down.
We gotta convince next on Monday, if you'll be there, we gotta get Israel to try to.
Oh, Tristan? Oh my God, dude. Yeah. Cause like I have an ex named Israel, and I was like, how do you know her? What?
Oh no. She's
yeah.
not Jewish, is she?
No, she's not. She's oh man. I saw her relatively recently, and it freaked me the fuck out. Just like I was just playing a show like in Tacoma Park, and then she walked by and I was like, "Oh, that's a cute dog. Oh, those are nice pants. Ooh, that's nice hair. Hey, whoa, no." And so that was the rest of my week. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
yeah.
Shit.
Yeah.
Well, there's always memory porn.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. It was more of a
like an oh shit go away.
No, flooding back of the
Sorry, I hate those.
The shittiness of like how everything went down, and yeah. Anyway, it triggered introspection that I was not ready for mid-song about being haunted by my past.
Fuck, yeah.
It was like a wild.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting turn of events, yeah. And then I saw her mom like a couple weeks later, and yeah.
Well, the goal for this week could just be find some strange.
Nah. The goal for this week is make it through the fucking week. I got to go to West Virginia a week from tomorrow.
For
music.
Show? Oh, no,
yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. No, I'm excited about being there and playing there. The drive, that's the,
Dude, West Virginia is further away than people think.
Yeah, but there are parts of Maryland that are like almost as far as like,
yes.
like if I were to drive to Cumberland, it would take about as maybe like 30 minutes less than it would take for me to go where I'm going. It's going to take 3 hours to get there. I drive out 66 West. Yeah.
So yeah, well, safe travels on the trip. Will you be there Monday though?
Oh yeah, I'll be there. I'll be there this Monday and next Monday, or next Monday and next Monday.
Friday.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Food.
okay. Well, I'm gonna end the thing, and we can all fuck off. And thanks for coming, Telly. I guess I'll see you Monday. and next Friday if
Yeah, I'm down. Yeah.
you know, that's the thing.
Unless I'm working on the national board stuff, this massive thing I'm doing. The final
That's right.
data.
That's right. Yeah.
So if I'm like cutting it to the wire, then not Friday, but I should be. I'm planning to be
Okay.
done. Because the sooner that I'm fucking done that, the sooner the party begins.
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
All right. Well,
All right, man. Well, we've hit 3 hours, so it's